निखिल बंसल जी, चलिए मैं सभी से निवेदन करूंगा कि ये हमारे जो पैनलिस्ट हैं, जो डॉक्टर मेहरा जी हैं, डॉक्टर एसपी सिंह जी हैं और मैडम परीन सोमानी जी हैं और डॉक्टर सिद्धार्थ जी हैं, सभी के लिए एक जोरदार तालियों से शुरुआत करें, क्योंकि क्या है अभी हमने खाना खाया तो एनर्जी को हम थोड़ा उसको कल्टीवेट करें। थैंक यू डॉक्टर मेहरा, प्लीज टेक ओवर।
Good afternoon, everybody. I think the most difficult task to keep the audience awake and the panelists also awake after a heavy lunch that is there. But no mind, that's a difficult task that Mr. C. Agarwal sir has given us. And so in this panel, what you get is a diversified view on AI, both in research and development. We'll have somewhat on healthcare and on AI technologies coming in. Then we'll have some on generative AI along with entrepreneurship. Can I have on the dais Dr. Sarthak Bakshi, sir? Okay, you're there. Good. So we are there with you. And Pareen Somani. Okay. So she would be talking on, she's from London Organization of Skill Developments, and Mr. C.A. Nikhil Bansal. Mr. Nikhil Bansal on dais, please. Okay. So, since I've given the charge of this session, I think, and I have to make a presentation also, what I'll ask is initially, Sarthak, if you could come in and make your presentation here, and then we carry on is it okay? Thank you. Yeah, you can show, you can put your slides there. You can take your... Come, Somani, come. So if you see that AI, artificial intelligence, has really transformed our the way we work, the way we sit around, the way we interact. I think since morning you've been seeing technology has been taken over. But remember the one thing that is there, at the end of the back end of it, we should not forget that the human brain is at the back doing all that work also. Of course, it's making computing faster. That's there. Come. Yeah. You had lunch, no? You want this pointer? He's waiting there. Come. So, the first presenter would be Sarthak. He's the Forbes 30 new 30. That is entrepreneur 30 at 30 under 30. So entrepreneur and BC 40 under 40.
Everything 30 under 30, 35 under 35.
Good.
Hi everyone. I know I can understand the sleepiness after having a heavy lunch. I've been only given 5 to 7 minutes to present this huge topic of how artificial intelligence is shaping up the Indian healthcare industry, or how is it revolutionizing Indian healthcare. So it's too small to talk about, and till the time the PPT comes online, I'll just speak on the normal stuff, I mean, it's an artificial intelligence conference, and I'm sure you've already heard about what is it, how is it changing the landscape, not only in healthcare, but in all the other facets of life. Is it worrisome that everybody is getting used to AI? Intelligence, even it's coded through by humans. Any artificial intelligence, can never take away a human's job, or can never, sanctify any human needs. For me, even in healthcare, where you can utilize artificial intelligence to understand reports, identify diagnosis, of difficult cases, improve the outcomes. But at the end of the day, I have seen in my practice or in our healthcare system that the patient will come to you and say, Doctor Saab, please ek baar aap check kar lo. That feel, the touch, the human intervention can never be taken away. No matter what's said and done, you require that last level of human connection to verify that whatever the computer is telling us, is this the right thing or not? Even with a 99.9% accuracy, that 0.1% of human intervention holds the actual key for the other 99.9%. We would always be the smartest, the most intelligent species on earth, and AI comes through us only. So, for artificial intelligence, can they actually replace humans? I don't think so as of now, probably 20, 30 years down the line. But right now, in today's scenario, they're actually aiding us. They're helping us become better, become faster, give results more conveniently. All those things, what a startup offers, convenience, faster, accessibility. That is what AI is here to do for us. No matter what industry you are in, no matter what field you are in, but utilize artificial intelligence to make you all these things faster, better, anything, and all these services, any service or industries you have. In the healthcare industry, oh, we're finally here. Thanks. So in the healthcare industry, where is AI commonly used? It has wide-ranging applications, all across healthcare. So, mm, this is this working? Oh, yeah. So somehow the text is too small, but just skim through it. Oh yeah, sorry. Text is too small, but if you can skim through it, that it actually is supporting each and every individual doctor for, say, the first thing, diagnosis, the first routine blood test. Does that actually help us? If it can actually tell us that, okay, are we positive, negative? We already know those values. But what does it actually help us in? If we have a low platelet count, if we have a high RBC count? Is it, do we have low creatinine? What is the actual use of AI in over here? It will just give you a summary of your diagnosis, that this is your blood test telling, and at the end of the day, it will tell you, please consult your doctor for the safety of the medication, because each body reacts differently to the medication. So AI will generally give you a ballpark figure, a summary, if you need to be aware about what you're going through, but it will never tell you that this the final diagnosis. I've had so many patients who've come to us who Googled right, left, and center all their symptoms. I have this, that, and all of them, mind you, 90% of them eventually leads to cancer. If you keep Googling through your symptoms, it will end up in cancer only, which is 99.9% false, because you don't have cancer. So that's why I'm saying that artificial intelligence um, will help you in identifying a base summary of what you're going through, of how it can help you understanding your symptoms better. Or if you cannot reach the doctor on time, can you use telemedicine? Can you use tools like multiple tools that we are utilizing artificial intelligence for? Can they help you in diagnosing faster or understanding things better? Can you move through the next one? I think this remote isn't working. So this is what we're meant to say. Can you go to the next one? So enhancing diagnostic accuracy. How does it help in today's scenario that we can get more and more faster and better results through our diagnostic reports? So AI tools don't need to go to the doctor to interpret the results. That's the first and foremost basic understanding of understanding your diagnostic accuracy through AI. It has large pools of data. Once you have, say, a million reports compiled together, you skim through all the data, and then AI compiles it all together in a summary format, that yes, we can actually. So AI helps you in understanding that accuracy. Or for us as doctors scenario, that can we if we are contemplating between two things, what does the data tell us? That is pertinent to Delhi's air pollution. Can that be bronchitis, or is it asthmatic, or is it something? When we require that large pool of data, this is where AI comes in to help me understand what is it going through. In November, is all the time, does bronchitis increase by 5 percentage points or 10 percentage points, or is there the asthma? Is there a likelihood of asthma getting to patients over the age of 60? What's the likelihood of that? All of these things can be helped understood through AI. So, um, the other aspect of AI is personalized medicine. My body reacts differently to each and everyone's body. I require customized plan. I'm sure all of you have been on a weight loss journey, but you would have seen not everybody is same. I can probably lose weight by even having two rotis and rice, whereas someone has to completely go on a diet without rice, without carbohydrates, without fats. So AI, in that sense, I'm just giving a very crude example that everybody has a very different structure, and when you put in that data through an AI model, which will help you in understanding that what is your personal requirement, what are the macronutrients, micronutrients, what kind of a particular lifestyle are you leading, and what do you require for you to get better. I can give you an antibiotic dose of 500 mg as same as everyone else, but probably you don't need that. You need only 325 mg. All of these micro manipulations can only be done when you have data and when you have that AI solving, computing all of that for a few. For a human being, it's far too difficult to compute and get through all this data, and that is where AI comes in and helps you personalizing your need up to the best capacity. Telehealth, which I said, India, a rural country where 60, 70% of the population is still in the rural access, which is still, the bridge divide in the healthcare industry. The rural don't have doctors and the urban has way more doctors and less patients. This is the biggest divide that we always have with each other. And containing to that, this is where AI is actually helping in getting diagnosis. Cataract, which is such a basic form of treatment, which probably a lot of rural people don't get access to. Understanding diagnosis of the eyes through AI tools, there are machines which can actually, as you've seen in a sci-fi movie, the machine scans and can do that. Those are not sci-fi movies anymore. We have hardware devices, medical equipments, which are using AI models, scanning the retina, scanning the whole eye, and telling that is it cataract, is it glaucoma, is it some myooptic disease, what is all of there. So telehealth, not only for the ophthalmology industry, but for understanding the basic requirements. If you don't have access to the doctor, do you have an access to a virtual doctor which can actually get away this 60-70% of the most basic diseases? It would seem far-fetched to you that we can easily diagnose dengue, chikungunya over here, but rural where there is a lot of infestation, these diseases go undiagnosed, and you know what symptoms happen and what happens after that. So telehealth seems easy as a subject, that it's a phone call away, we have mobile, we have FaceTime, we have WhatsApp video calling, but it's way more than that. It's just doing a video call with a doctor. It's actually understanding the symptoms. Is the blood drawn taken correctly? Is the parameters value rightly? Is the BP being measured correctly? All those devices is probably checked through an AI device or through a medical equipment powered by AI. All of that is done, and then only we are able to get actually the telehealth model right. Telehealth has been there since 30, 40, 50 years, but has never been successful because it's never, the diagnosis is never there. You cannot diagnose a patient far away just by looking on a WhatsApp video call with him and telling, okay, I might think. The last answer or the last dialogue with the patient is, okay, come to the center, come to the clinic, come to the hospital. If that was needed to be done, or if that could be done, then telehealth is already, if would not be successful. So therefore AI is playing a big role in the telehealth industry. And as I said, AI is here to stay. It's a bright future ahead. Anything, please understand that artificial intelligence is developed by humans to aid humans, to support us, to make us understand things better, faster, and give our prognosis better. You will utilize in some sort of time, whatever your age is, whatever service, whatever industry you are, please utilize AI to help you become better. At the end of the day, that's what AI is supposed to do. It is our personal assistant, just like that. I would personally type emails. Now I don't even take the hassle. I just go and ask Siri, go to chat GPT, write an email to XYZ telling I need this. And a beautifully crafted mail comes and I just press the send button. That's my job these days. I am using chat GPT, which is now a very age old tool, to signify, I don't even go and say Siri does that for me. It's connected everywhere. They know my email addresses. So I'm just saving my 7 to 10 minutes of time. I don't know where am I utilizing that anymore, but that's my example to you, that how am I utilizing AI in a daily life, which you should also do. Healthcare is a very big domain, is very huge to solve, and we're solving each bit by bit. But I request each one of you and all of you to please start using an AI tool to help you in your daily lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarthak. Thank you. An excellent presentation where you mentioned about in healthcare the AI aspects of it, and both the predictive ones where you can predict the disease. So you can predict people who can have cancer if you have certain risk factors there. It could be both preventive. So it'll give you all what are the things for that cancer you want to prevent, a disease you want to prevent with. It'll tell you everything regarding it. It's like a virtual doctor present there. That's really great. And it is the way forward. You see, what happens is, I'm a practitioner. Now, what happens is, you when a patient comes to you, you can only handle one patient at a time. But if you take the technology aspect of it into consideration, especially AI, then at one moment you can have millions or billions of people along with you. Okay, what do you want to broadcast to them? And only you need to say, see mainly few patients which would really require that, or which would have a lesser amount of sensitivity or specificity compared to the AI that is there. So with that, we have the second speaker. I think, Nikhil, are you ready? You want to take that, or ma'am, are you there? You'll take it? Okay. So ma'am would, Pareen Somani is there? Yeah. She would. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good. Yeah, yeah. So true. That's really a distinction that you get from the professor. And so, Professor Somani, can we have your presentation on the AI?
Just give me 1 second, yeah? Lost something. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all my distinguished guests. It's my honor and my privilege to be part of this conference of AI. It's very important that how the AI is taken over from us. And today is the second national conference, Era of Artificial Intelligence, Powered Management, to discuss a subject that is incredibly close to my heart. I'll tell you why. Because AI in the healthcare has given a massive change in everyone's life. Now, it's on us how we can take it further. So, diagnosis on oral cancer, just about AI in the healthcare, especially we talk about the era of how the diagnoses are made in the oral cancer. Artificial intelligence has been aware that in healthcare, AI not only diagnose the cancer but also significantly improve the patient's outcome. From the radiology to precisions, medicines, and the oral of AI is expanded rapidly, giving us new hope and saving countless lives. Next, please. So, when we speak about AI's role, healthcare, early cancer detection stands as one of the most important promising advancement. AI algorithm trained on the vast data sets in such a way that how we can identify the cancerous lesions and the patent with the remarkable with the early stage of disease and how the cancer can be detected. So in the oral cancer, early detection can dramatically improve the survival rate. We are very fortunate to have AI technology that excel in detecting cancer earlier than more accurately in a medical image. We know how the patient work when things are going wrong. It becomes really, really difficult to control. But the simple way with the AI technology, it becomes more easier. When we are a human, because as a human we got so much stress, we got so much worries, and we are so much things going on our plate, we forget things what has to be done. And you might have heard about the couple of stories which I heard, and that is a true story. The doctor was doing a surgery of a patient for the gallstone, and he left the Caesar in the stomach, because whatever the reason the doctor was so stressed, this can happen. So now with the AI, we are very fortunate that this will not be missed out as a human observation. So this capability is invaluable as oral cancer is often diagnosed too late when it's been leading to the limited treatment options. And it's a higher mortality rate can increase. But imagine a number of lives that could be saved if easily case of cancer can be detected, and it can be earlier and treated if the AI system is used. So on a personal note, I want to tell you something that how the system work with the AI. So we are very much we are want to go with the AI, but unfortunately there are so many limitations. There are a lot of lack of knowledge. We are scared. We are worried. Nowadays, you might have heard that when you go to a restaurant, I'm not sure if you have seen, I go to the restaurant and seriously, the robots are giving me the food. I'm not even served by the human, I'm served by the robot, but they look so much. They come, they serve me, and they take the plate away. So we have saved the manpower, we have saved the cost, and we have saved the efficiency of the technology. That is the very important part. And in a very small note, I want to share an example about my personal story. Can you change the slide, please? So I want to share a story which is very important to me, and I thought this will bring each and everybody in the room how the AI could have helped me if I could be detected in early stage. So my journey begins 2.5 decades ago. I'm not just advocate of AI in healthcare, but I'm also a cancer survivor. So my story begins when I was diagnosed with a life-threatening cancer of ameloblastoma. If anybody is doctor here, is anyone any doctors here? Real doctor? Real? Yeah. Okay. You know ameloblastoma. You know about it. Yeah. No, that's fine. But what I mean to say, okay, only the doctors will understand ameloblastoma is one of the aggressive cancer, and that only stays in the face. When I got this cancer in 2000, at the same time, I found out that there was a connection with the optic nerve inflammation. With that note, I lost my vision. I became blind. That's not even enough. With the cancer surgery, when they found out, they have to operate on my 3/4 of my face. So if you look at my face, on the left hand side is completely knuckly. This side is a man-made, this is my original side. So I always like to cover it with my hair so people don't notice. But I'm openly telling how I felt and how what was going on. So inside my mind, inside how I've been living from last 24 years, surviving with all the challenges, but I never have given up because I know that we are the inspiration for others. We are the hope for the society. Thank you. So you see my nice pointy chain? Look at everyone's chain here. Have they got a pointy chain? Because mine is a man-made. It's a dummy chain. My lips are dummy. My upper and a lower lips are dummy because this has been created not with AI, but the human. This surgery was done in the United Kingdom in London in the UCL hospital. And once they took my quarter face out, I was literally without my jaw for quite some time. But they reconstructed in such a way, beautiful way. Okay, you can see a very sharp edge on my left, but there is a original side which is a drooping down. This is edge talking about is drooping down on my right. That's what it is. That is the power of AI. If I could be detected earlier, I could have saved my life and I would not have done this. That's not even enough. 10 years, 1 decade after, they found out I got the ameloblastoma just slightly away from next to the first time. And at this time, believe me or not, it was my deadline. The doctors in UCL hospital in London told me, okay, now there is no life. You're only here for few hours, few days, and few minutes. Now, if anybody tells you like that, what is your feelings? How do you feel? You lost. And my babies were little. I did not let my hope die. I did not let my hope die. And what I did, in fact, I took a one step ahead. And I said, okay, I'm not going to live anymore, but what is the way I can move forward? If you just Google my name, Dr. Parin Somani or Parin Somani or Professor Somani, whatever you Google on my name, you will see the real story about me. I've been invited 3 times on a TEDx speaker. I've been recognized 5 times on the world record, 4 times on the India Book of Records, twice in the Scholar Book of Records, twice Karnataka Book of Records, Golden Book of Records. If this would not have happened, I wouldn't be here today. So one of my colleagues came up to me and said, Parin, I know you're not going to live anymore, but I want you to do something. Go to south of India in Kerala and look at the alternative option. I said, I don't believe in Ayurveda. I don't know what is Kerala. I never have been in Kerala. But she made me go to Kerala in South India. By going there, my new Parin, the new person has come out. And when I got this one, I set my 2 mottos in my life. I want to help my mankind until my last breath. And second motto, by working together, we can make a positive global change. That's what a meaning of bringing all people together and sharing the platform. You see my beautiful hair today? Yeah, they look lovely, but they're not my real. I'm wearing a wig. It's okay. Who cares about it? I never used to be that open before, but from 2019, when I was invited on a platform of Akhil Bharatiya Sahitya Parishad, because I'm a writer, at the age of 19, I've written 11 books. At the age of 20, my books were published by Kothari Publication. If anybody is from Gujarat, from Ahmedabad, they will know Kothari Publication is a big publisher place. Right now, I have written up to 23 books. And the last book, which was been launched at the Oxford University, 540 powerful quote of my 54 years of my journey. I've written a book on manifest inner beauty. All the books are in Amazon. You can find out more about me. This is the power. If AI would be there at that time, I don't think so. I would have gone through all the stages and I won't be here. That could be the disadvantage. But I'm glad that I'm still in front of you. Next slide, please. So this has given me inspiration how I can help the society. So I have got 3 areas where I work: women empowerment, youth development, and in education. This is my core values where I want to bring. So in the future, if you look at it, how we can work and collaborate, because it's all about collaboration. It's all about working hand to hand together. This conference is not just done by one person. This conference is in collaboration with many organization. That makes us powerful. That makes us important. And with AI's help and AI's tool, we can even be more powerful and go in the rapid world, and we can do the best out of best. Because we want to. But always remember the ethics. Because with AI, there are a lot of things which people don't know about it, but we have to be very ethical and honest in our work. The more honest we are, the more ethical we are. And when we are feeding with the AI doesn't know who we are. AI will listen to you. And I was listening to the young fellow here, my colleague, and he mentioned that he was just writing the email, just messaging, okay, this is my thing, and I want to write the message. And all the messages, all the emails are being done by AI for him. And he saves 5 to 10 minutes. This is what the AI can do. In this pandemic, we all have gone through many challenging times. But the important part, the AI particularly, we talk about the oral cancer detection can give us the hope, number one. It's technology, but it's not more compassionate, offering people the chance to live longer, healthier, and have a better lifestyle. As someone has been gone through a lot of challenges and fight, but it's okay. That's the way of meaning of life. That has inspired me and more determined to how I can help in this world of technology. As I'm the CEO and the director of London Organization of Skills Development, today I'm very happy to see all of the beautiful soul. You are beautiful, you are powerful, but your soul is even more powerful. And today I would like to do a little gesture of saying thank you to Manojji and Reena for the Fame Finder for inviting me here. And I would like to do something for all my beautiful fellow members here. I'm sure people you are here who are researchers. And this research is what I like to do, that I want to give you a gift of asking you that write a research paper and we can publish free of charge for you in a global research journal. Let me tell you about the Global Research Journal. Global Research Journal is not a web science, and it's not UGC, or it's not Scopus. I want to make it very clear. I don't want you to bombard with the inquiries. No, we don't have time. It is an international journal which will feature you on the Google stage. It will give you the recognition on the international journal called Global Research Journal. www.globalresearchjournal.co.uk. You can have a look at it, and there is my, yeah, okay, we'll do that. Akash, if you can put the last slide one more time for a few minutes. Again, I will tell you, if you've written the paper, please connect with Manojji, Reena, or myself, and we will publish it free. We will put a deadline of 31st of January. Anybody who gives the paper before 31st of January, just put it down as a reference, Fame Finder. So I will remember, okay, they are my Fame Finder people whom I've given this gift, and we will publish completely free of charge. That is something I would love to work, because I want to make an impact, but I can't make an impact. That's my second motto of my life. I want to give an impact in the society, not alone. I want to bring everybody together. That's the meaning of life. That's the challenge we face through. But always remember the 3 key areas of the life. Number 1, believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, the world will believe you. Number 2, be honest, be ethical. Don't cheat anyone and don't lie. Be straight. If you can't do it, just say no, you can't do it. But don't make false promises to anyone. Don't put people on the hanging string. हो जाएगा, कर देंगे. नहीं. Tell them to their face. If you want to have a success in your life, this is the key for a success, to be truth and honest and be successful in your pathways. And number 3, don't be selfish. Don't keep things to yourself. Share it out. The more you share, the universe is ready to give you. Universe is there. Build the bridges between societies, communities around the world, and be the part of new generation, of new era of the artificial intelligence. Namaste and thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Somani, ma'am. I think an excellent presentation, a life story, I would say, more of that coming in and motivating everybody here. And as a practitioner, as a maxillofacial surgeon, I really commend ma'am that, yeah. So that is, yeah. So that's why I said, we'll listen to you first before I say something there. Yeah. So I think what she talked about was a tumor or a amyloblastoma of the jaws. It's the most locally malignant and a prevalent form of it, and got an epidemiology of very high occurrence. So, mind you, the only differentiating feature is that if you don't want a surgery, that you have to be early diagnosed in oral cancer. So that's the most important thing. If you diagnose early, I think the medical profession or the medical people can really help you getting a good quality of life. But I really commend you, ma'am, for the excellent quality of life and the motivation and the joy that you have to get back. Yeah.
And you will become like
We will show you. We will show you the slides. Don't worry. We will show you everything. So before I take over, I think my colleague from CSR, NPL, National Physics Laboratory, we have Dr. SP Singh, sir. I think he'll be talking to you for AI in.
So thank you, Professor Mehra and Deen Dayal ji, for inviting me to this August gathering. So I think Sarthak and Professor Dr. Somani has already set the stage, and they have given the real essence of AI, the way she has told her story, like the first she got a tumor and then reconstructive surgery. So what kind of psychological pressure she has gone through, and she has come up with so lively life and then a different motive of life. This is the same thing which we are doing in developing AI modules, like self-learning processes. Those self-learning processes are creating a different kind of a broad spectrum of the applications of AI, right? So I would cover what basically AI is. I know that since morning you must be hearing a lot of things about AI. My things with AI is only the research. So we are from the laboratory. We are not from any experimental side like the practical doctors or the CEOs, right, of different company. I'm not an entrepreneur, but yes, we look from the basic perspective and the standardization perspective. One of the things which Professor Somani has touched about the ethics of AI, that is a big concern. And we don't have any standard in the society for this. Recently, ISO has developed one standard for taking care of these ethical issues associated with the AI. Next slide, please. Go to the next slide. So what is AI basically? As I said, Professor Somani is a live example of this. Means the self-learning processes. Go ahead, please. So the artificial intelligence refers to mirroring human intelligence using machines. Whatever the way we are developing, right? कब धोती कुर्ते से हम जीन्स पैंट पे आ गए हमें पता नहीं है, right? This is a kind of a learning process from the society. So these kind of things we are now putting into the systems. We are putting into the formulas. We are putting into the machines, right? And those machines are learning those processes. Can you go ahead, please? So you just keep on entering, please. You keep on. So you can see this is the journey of this AI. AI has been started since 1950s. However, when Alexa came into the system, before that there was a chess game in somewhere about 1987, right? When a human was interacting with the machine and the human won this game. And then Alexa came in, and after that, we people are nowadays, we are what we are calling it AI, artificial intelligence, and we are seeing it everywhere. However, still we are seeing only the tip of the iceberg in case of AI. The full potential of AI is not yet came out. Go ahead, please. Please move ahead. Move ahead. So now, yes, next slide, please. So the AI right now we are in with the basic AI, even in general AI, which we are talking about, where machine can interact with human. No, still we are in the research area. We are not having those modules available. So you can see people are talking about their application of AI in business. We are talking the application of AI in healthcare. We are talking AI already, means chatbots are there, right? Chat GPT is there, means your language processing are there, but still we are looking at the tip of the iceberg only. General AI, we are in research, and then what we want to go for, which is super intelligent AI, where the machine will gonna take the decision, and that's where the problem will start coming. Go ahead, please. So just move. Go ahead. So machine learning is another thing, and where we are having deep learning. Deep learning now we are learning from, suppose a mouse is jumping from here, and the jump of mouse, we can create some kind of idea. Just okay, this mouse is jumping from here, so not he's not going through the this tree. He's going in between both the trees, right? So there is some kind of a logic behind it. And same way, we are training the modules, machine learning modules, to develop the applications. Go ahead, please. So this AI has a big implications in the healthcare. Go ahead, please. Yeah, so we can see the diagnostic, drug discovery, robotic surgery, everywhere the role of AI is predicted. For example, this is the down figure. You can see we are having different kind of bacteria. Now, under the microscope, a human is trying to see the slide. He may miss one or two bacteria, right? Because these bacteria are having different kind of shape. But if your AI module is trained, and if you're looking with the microscope powered with AI, there is a minimum chance of missing that particular bacteria. This is what is happening in the diagnosis of the cancer as well, right? Because right now the imaging system, sometimes they misses the cancerous cell. Now, when you are training your AI, then they can easily identify, okay, this particular area is also affected by the cancer, right? Same means analyzing the image, like MRI you have. So one doctor can see in a different way, another person can see it in a different way, but the AI will not gonna have that kind of a different point of views, right? So AI have more accurate outcomes in analyzing the images. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Yeah. So robotic surgery, yes, a lot of applications are going on. Go ahead, please. Then nowadays you might have seen this Healthify, this app is there, right? Where you put your data since morning what you have eaten, right? And then they will instruct you, okay, at this particular time you have taken your breakfast, so now you cannot take your food up to this particular time. And this is how they can define the best possible diet for you and keep away from you from the different diseases. Go ahead, please. And this is one of the experiment which is going on with the Google as well. You can see the eye. Your eye only can define at least 16 type of disease. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. So these 16 type of diseases you can detect from your eye. हम लोग देखते थे, हमारे वैद्य लोग जो थे आयुर्वेदा के अंदर, पहले आपकी आंख देखते थे, टंग देखते थे, उन दोनों को देख के बता देते थे कि आप किस तरीके की बीमारी आपको है, right? The same concept now AI is using, so they are identifying different kind of disease with monitoring the changes in your eyes basically. So Google has a big project on this with the Srinetra Institute in Madras, Chennai. So those people are developing this kind of app as well. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Now, this guy, Sundar Pichai, has invested a lot of effort. Means now Google are developing most of the AI tools, and you will be surprised to know that now AI is developing AI tool. One AI tool is developing another AI tool. So now you can see the serious concern about it. The serious concern is this: our computer scientist job will be taken up by the AI. 25% of software development is taken care by the AI nowadays at Google. So this is one of the concern of this AI as well. Go ahead, please. So now what I can say, artificial intelligence is a double-edged sword, right? Depending on its application and ethical consideration. Like you are coming up with very accurate measurements, accurate diagnostics, good drug discoveries. However, same time, now let me give you an example. I think I have next slide, please. Sorry, so this is, I already told you that we have as a boon in different healthcare sector, industrial sectors, where it has a problem. Next slide, please. Now, job displacements, ethical concern, privacy risk, weaponization of AI. These are the different risks of the AI. And there, nowadays, people have now come up, the scientists are coming up with, instead of robots, because intelligent robot can do anything. So they want to go for the cobots. Cobot means the robot will gonna work with the human. So human and robot, they are working together. If you are giving all the control to the robot, then any disaster can happen, right? So these are the concern of AI, and I can only say that this is good, because when we develop the nuclear energy people have used as an atom bomb as well, and nowadays we are lighting up the world with the nuclear energy. So every technology has positives and negatives. So there are more positives of AI, but we have to put simultaneous concern for the risk assessment as well. Go ahead, please. So ISO IEC 42001 is an AI management system that lays the foundation for an ethical, safe, and forward-thinking use of AI across its various applications. So this is first of its kind, the standard developed by ISO. Because we people are coming from NPL, which is National Measurement Institute of the country. So we are supporting all technical support to BIS for developing newer standards. And but please, so with this, AI has a broad spectrum of applications, right from the management, labor class, and it can do all kind of jobs, but we have to use it with caution. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Dr. S.P. Singh. I think we look forward to your and your organization developing some standards there for AI to be used, both in the industry as well as healthcare, both. I think we look forward to that. You've done quite a bit of measure standards. I know you're developing the bullion standards, the silver and the gold standards,
Yeah.
but now I think the time has come for your organization to take a lead into developing the AI standards that is there for the industry.
So we have already started, and I think day after tomorrow we have a gathering of 23 countries, which is Asia Pacific Metrology Program. So we developing standards in AI and this information technology is one of the priority area which we people are taking up. And also, we are developing some diagnostic tool with Professor Mehra in detecting oral cancer. So one of our scientists, Parmita Guha, is working towards it, and we are getting a good result out of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Thank you so much. Next in line, we have C.A. Nikhil. Can you take up your talk or? Yeah, so please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Well, a lot was said about AI and everything else, and AI working in different sectors. I would like to throw some light AI on in the education sector. This is where it all starts from. We have heard very great words from Dr. Sahiba and Dr. Saab, and they are talking about like AI is used as tool there. We have heard about logistics industries. We have heard about GST refunds, integration of financial data, and everything else. But where is this actually coming from? Who is doing this work? Where it is starting? It's in the mind. We have to think. Great people like you, think of a problem, then try to arrive at a solution, then try to build test models around it, then gather the data, analyze it again. That's how we do it. Am I right, sir? Am I right? Right? And whenever we are analyzing at a data and we are arriving at a point of conclusion, we are now trying to add an element of human behavior to it. To me, that is more of an AI. Otherwise, it was always there. It was robotics. It was called software development. It was known by plenty of names earlier. As soon as we are adding the touch of the human behavior, we are calling it AI. I was reading one of the articles yesterday, and I came across this chapter from a US professor. He said, "Our intelligence is what makes us human. Our intelligence is what makes us human. And AI is an extension of that quality." Essentially, what we are doing, we are building machines. We are building machines. We are giving them the pattern of the human behavior, how we are doing this. Okay. We heard examples in the morning, like whenever we are going onto Facebook or Flipkart or anything, and we are searching or even talking about it, it is somehow there on our mobile apps. Have you even thought why it is happening? Because our mobile is gathering the data even when we are talking, even when our internet is off. There are chipsets which are gathering our personal data. That is why it is showing us recommendations. See, how is that happening is I'm not the technical person. What I have understood of this industry, there are many chips and semiconductors, things that are already there in our mobile, and with this technology, which was somehow related to the internet. I'm unable to recall the name, NP something. It's not really a new one. It's a very old one. When I used to work with the e-commerce departments, when I was developing an e-commerce portal, I came across many technologies, and I was putting to use many tools and softwares that were available there. Of course, AI was in very nascent stages then. I was never used to this term AI. Okay, but that's when I realized, okay, there is the potential of doing many things, but obviously there are capital constraints. Okay, there are ideas, but unless they are supported by the monetary things, the ideas would always remain ideas, and they go with you, right? So anyhow, coming back to the academics part, what we are doing at RK Group of Institutions, we are designing customized courses, because in India right now, there is no such formal education that is available either for AI or for data science or for machine learning. We are learning from you. We are learning from the industry. We are approaching industry people and going back to them, okay, how can we help you with? We have got a set of people who know something, and they might put something which might be of use to you. So we are training students. Now we have students who are coming from all sectors. These students come from either from a very good background, educational background. They are studying in Cambridges or very good schools of Delhi, and they are coming from very remote places of India as well. जिसका हमने नाम भी कभी नहीं सुने होंगे, and these people do not have really access to English. Okay, but they are very fascinated by this world AI. We want to learn AI. What is AI? जब मेरे पास शुरू में queries आती थी, I never knew, okay, do this course, this is AI. I used to sell data science and AI course, but then I realized, okay, data science is not AI, right? So AI has got many components to it. Data science and machine learning, as far as I know, are two integral parts. इसमें भी बड़े सारी चीजें हैं जो हमें कनेक्ट होती है. It all starts with the data collection, data analysis plays a major role. We use different languages to do the data collection and data analysis and arrive at a conclusion. What we are selling to the industry is a conclusion based on the data sets that are being provided to us. The collection of data is of extreme importance. We are collecting the right set of data from the right set of industry and selling it to the right set of people. Okay, similar thing was happening in India, not only in India, I mean, it was there in the education system, which we call as PhD. PhD में क्या होता है सर डॉक्टर साहब? We are collecting, we are studying, we are mastered a certain stream of language. We are there and we are doing PhD on a certain topic. So after arriving, identifying the problem, we are collecting data. Now, collection of data, even in PhD, is of very significant matter. If my data is not right, obviously my conclusion will not be right. जिसके साथ मैं जा रहा हूँ अपना PhD को approve कराने, of course, he might challenge the data and say कि भाई ये तो हो चुका है बहुत साल पहले. What have you brought to the shore? So, data collection was always there, but the data interpretation, we never probably made use of that data, that thousands of PhD which are lying in the libraries on the national records. काफी सारा data है वहाँ पर. Okay. So the data collection was there, but it was probably never used in a manner in which it could have been used when the computers were working. The computers were introduced to aid the, let's say if I have to fragment my human body into different parts, hands, legs, minds, etc., my computers were giving me a relaxation if I am, not able to compute certain things, or कुछ machines में मैंने काम कर दिया, मेरे हाथ पैरों का काम हो रहा है. But आजकल AI is doing the behavioral part as well. That's how I differentiate between the AI part and what, the computers were doing previously when the term AI was not coined. There are many aspects to the what do you call the healthcare industry, which we the Dr. Sahib also pointed in. अगर मेरे को कुछ ऐसा हो जाता, someone told me like I have got very few days left, or someone put up an example, I've got this problem, AI is concluding as please die. So we are still in the process of development, and still we are giving our brains, our thoughts to the systems. So AI or a machine throwing out a result is just not my thought. It is just not my brain. It is a cumulative thoughts of like thousands of brains, how the brains would react in a certain situation, processing that information in a split-second part and giving you the results that you are searching for. Okay, it can only be used as a guiding tool, but with no concrete accuracy as such. Only I can judge whether the AI that, the results that are throwing up to me is correct or not. Of course, we should make the use of AI in our, जो daily के events करने में, and everything else which the AI can, the tools I would say, can make our lives easier. Google Maps है, face detection tools है, Canvas है. We need not work on many things anymore, but there are still things for which the machines needs us, and we need to prepare the machines for them. Am I right, sirs? There are things that we are preparing for our betterment. And that's where we as institutions want to collaborate with industry partners with you who use AI or some other things in their day-to-day businesses. Because the students who are coming to us would eventually want to get some kind of opportunity in industry. AI में कोई degree नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है जिसके basis you can shortlist or hire people. Ultimately, these students would, after gathering some experience, working with some kind of organization, providing some kind of trainings, would be working on these projects which would be making your businesses easier. Right? So my humble request would be, जो भी business houses हैं, upcoming, settled, very prominent, please support the education system as well, because the boys, the young minds need you. And these are the people with which we are going to build a future which may or may not be dependent on AI. Right? With this, I would really conclude these thoughts, and let us just say to a very good and great in Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. C. Nikhil, sir. I think an excellent one where you talked about academics coming into AI. Right. So I think my panel is complete now. And the last speaker I'm there. Is that it, sir? So I'll have some time to just make a presentation. My slides are there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that is a more difficult time, you see, after lunch to keep you awake, and the tea is there. So he wants me to be fast so that you get the tea also, right? I understand that, sir. But I'll try my level best. That's what I'm saying. Tea ceremony is there before you go for the last round there. So my travel with AI started, I would say, a long time back. How it's improved. I was doing my research, my MDS that time, and dissertation was coming up. So every day I had to go to my boss there, my guide, and show him my papers were written on my methodology, my discussions, my results, everything. And I should type that out and then go to him. And he would just say, make a correction there. And the whole day used to go again, typing the whole thing out to make that correction corrected, right? And then the electronic typewriters came in, if you remember. So one page could be remembered there. So that solved my problem. Okay, one page was there. But nowadays, when I see as a guide, as a professor, or as a director professor at Lady Harding Medical College, my residents were there. When they come to me, they're very smart, you know. First of all, they will search the internet down there, get all the data, they cut and copy paste there, and then they will show me the thing. Immediately, I make a correction there. 2 minutes outside the room, they would have that correction there because they got a laptop with them, and they got MS Word them, they got Chat GPT them, correct that out. So that has made life really easy for them. But for me, I have the plagiarism tool. So whatever that being there, you know, I tell them, okay, 2 minutes, give me. I put that there on the plagiarism website, and there I've got the result, what he's copied there and what he's got it new. So that's made my life easy. But coming back, I've got something to talk about AI in healthcare. I'll show you examples of what we do at our center and how we've developed for the government something there. So again, oral cancer, as Professor Somani was talking about, as Dr. S.P. Singh talked about, and we're collaborating with S.P. Singh. I'll show you that also, what you're trying to do for oral cancer diagnosis. Next slide, please. So it's all in your hands to make a difference, okay? If you work around with the hands, but to make sure, if you work with the hands, you have to have a knowledge first. Unless you have the knowledge, then your eyes will see that, and then only you can work. So similar with the machine also, you got to train that machine with some knowledge, okay? And then the machine sees something, and then only it will work. Otherwise, no machines will work that way. Next one. So just give an example about how AI can do it faster. As human beings, oral health, you know about, is all about smiles, okay? And that's what Professor Somani was talking about, her quality of life. Because if you don't have a good smile, I think your 50% quality of it goes away, except as you're motivated that much, then you get that quality of life back again. Next slide. Meko wo de dena yaar, change karne wala. Okay, so this picture I show you here, can you tell me what is deficient in that picture? The AI would do it in seconds. Just shot. Anyone? Raise your hand, please. Yes. Yeah. So? Teeth. Okay, teeth. Anybody else? Any other hand? Up, 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 up. Nobody. Hands. So AI comes in and tell in seconds. You see that hands is not the ladies. It's an extra hand from somewhere else. The tooth is because you see that because that is the most prominent thing. Okay? The aesthetic value is the most important thing to capture in that individual. Next slide, please. Okay. So again, second. Okay. So as he grows older, क्या हुआ? वापस जाना? Yeah. ठीक है, ठीक है. So as he grows older now, picture, tell me what is there wrong? Anybody? Raise your hand, please. Fast. Fast, fast. AI, man, come on, fast. AI will do it in seconds. Raise your hand. Yeah, fingers, good, good, good. You see the fingers, they're not 5 fingers, there are 6 fingers there. Okay, so that is what AI would do. As a human intelligent, you don't see that faster, right? Next, okay, what is there wrong? Right, right. So do you see, once you get at that, the AI will do it faster. It is nothing that it is different from human intelligence, but it's basically doing it faster. I give you commendation dots there. So the ear is missing of that guy there in that picture. Next one. Right. True. True. So it started from. हाँ तो दिखाया ना वहाँ पे पीछे पीछे जा पीछे जा पीछे जा तो शो बैक या तो इधर what is deficient in the picture तो सब बोलेंगे teeth है because that is the most prominent part, okay, but that is also there, the 6 pictures अच्छा अच्छा pass करें okay okay. So what it all started with a surgeon, you know, the surgery father of surgery is whom? Shushruta. He's the father of surgery, and his name is in head and neck surgery is all globally present there. We still respect him. Okay, it is not AI. He's the person who developed all tools, the first person to do that in BCC. And then you had machines taking over. Okay, machines doing the work faster. And then from that, what we developed for the government was in 2017 on the World Oral Health Day, an IVRS line where we okay, take it. So we got the AI helpline done using AI tool along with NIC of the Government of India. That is Artificial Intelligence Division of the NIC. Okay. So this is one thing. There's a Government of India program in healthcare called as a pharmacovigilance and material vigilance program. Okay. Now, what it basically is, vigilance, everybody knows is auditing, right? So if you have any, when you take an allopathic drug or any drug, okay, and you have any reaction, mind you, a doctor or to the Government of India or the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, you can do it in many ways, by landline, by a mobile, by a website also. Similarly, is the case with the material vigilance program, where if any practitioner is practicing any type of devices on you, any device, could be a stent, could be an orthopedic implant, could be a ocular implant, could be a dental implant, you have to report it to the government if you have any problems. Because this is a post-marketing surveillance that medical practitioners need to take care of. Because when these products come in the market, whether a drug or a device, it goes through a clinical trial. But during this trial, what happens is, it is open, right? And you've got inclusion and exclusion criteria. You don't take everybody in. But when the drug or the device goes into the market, then it is used by everybody. And we have to understand what are the problems faced. One of the most important things, if you remember, is a Johnson & Johnson device used for orthopedic implants, which was withdrawn by Johnson & Johnson after the court case in the US there. And subsequently, in 2 years' time, it was withdrawn from India also. And whoever patients were operated were provided adequate compensation regarding this. So it's very important that we want a feedback from you all. Okay, so it's more of a hype when we say Google is going to take over, or self-driving cars are the famous ones, or AI will defeat doctors, AI will replace doctors. But you see, we are not going to anywhere. Neither the CA is going to go there, neither doctors going to anywhere. For a filing of an IT return of a with the Coal of India, you have to come to the Director of Finance to do that, or the Director on board, Mr. Sunil, you have to come back to do that. Similarly, in the CA part, again, for the CSR activity, you have to come to Mr. Agarwal sir to do that. You can't do without him. Okay? No AI will do that. So it's all about business opportunities are like buses. They are always there, one coming. So if you miss that opportunity, of course, you will have a second one coming. Don't think AI is the end of the world. It is not. It is not going to the end of the world till human mankind is there. We will develop, and we should develop something better than AI. It could be real intelligence coming in. You had emotional intelligence, you had artificial intelligence, you could be having real intelligence computers coming in. So you have to think for the future. Don't think it's the end of the world, and that is going to the end. So when you talk about fourth IR or industrial revolution coming in, that is the artificial intelligence. First, you had the steam engines, if you remember. Second, you had the electric powered, the second generation of industrial revolution. Third was basically automation of machines doing the work automatically. And the fourth is more of cyber physical system where intelligent computers have come in and they do that work much faster for you all. And what are the four typical disruptive technologies that are there? A mode of connectivity coming in. So you got to see that connectivity with your internet's coming in, your data centers coming in, your power of cloud technology coming in, blockchain sensors coming in a major way in 4i AI. Then you got analytics. You analyze things faster. You got intelligence-dependent analytics coming in, machine learning coming in. You have human-machine interactions coming in, where IoT devices are there. So you sit at home, you put on that device, and the doctor sitting at the other end, telemedicine, will get your ECG report, your blood pressures, your everything reports will be gone instantly to the doctor there. And advanced engineering, where you have additive or subtractive manufacturing coming in, where you can provide custom-made devices. Now, what Madam talked about, Professor Somani, was a device in a jaw, right? I'll show you a custom-made device being put there into the jaw. So everybody has talked about, all the industry heavyweights have talked about the thing on Satya Nadella, Tim Cook, Google Health, on AI in healthcare. Because AI is going to transform healthcare like we see in that alphabets that taught to school kids. When we were children, we were taught A for an apple, B for a ball. But these days, A is not for that eating apple. It's all technology driven because they understand faster. Their brain is much faster if you see the children of the 21st century. So in 4A's, a quadruple that we say aims of healthcare is to basically improve the population health. So our health should improve. Second is patient experience of care, that whatever care we get, our experience that we get, we should be more satisfied this day than what we were previously. Then enhance the caregiver's experience. The person who's providing that care, his experience should be much better off, and reduce the cost, of course. That's more important. So these four things which should be the future generation where AI will come in a major way in healthcare. And it is not only with, as I said, with a practitioner there, it comes with pharmaceuticals, education, technology, consultancy, health financing, healthcare facilities, medical devices, everything will take over with AI. I think they're slow, Coach. Okay. So that is the types of AI that you have there. Then you have the battery come, I think. Okay. So it's all about, when you talk about artificial, there are two things. One is machine learning, the other is deep learning. But they all come into the domain of artificial intelligence, what Dr. S.P. Singh was talking about. And the 4P model is there with AI, which is talked about predictive. So you can predict a disease. If you're going to have cancer from 5 years from now, I think that AI model or an algorithm will predict that yes, you're going to have oral cancer or breast cancer or whatever else. That could be predicted by your risk factors, by your genetics, by your way of lifestyle. That could be predicted by an AI in a much better way. We've got algorithm for that. We can understand your risk factor. When we say, if you're taking tobacco, if you're taking betel nuts, you're taking alcohol, it combines. If you go bad oral hygiene, further combines. If you are old age, it further combines for oral cancer, right? But AI would do it much faster. That's the only aspect there. Preventive, it'll tell you the preventive aspects regarding a disease, what you need to take care. So if you've got, say, high blood sugar, so they immediately you go for your test around, it'll tell your doctor itself that this person has these diseases. You have to give him this as medicine, this type of lifestyle to lead him. So those are the advantages of AI. Personalized care can be given to each person regarding his healthcare problems, and participatory both by the patient with the doctor in his healthcare management. That is the role of AI in the future generation to come. So hierarchy-wise, you see, there are certain inputs that are there. It's all data-driven, right? Inputs kya? His clinical things, examination findings, his history findings, his X-ray images, his clinical images, all these things would form the inputs. And the computer analyzes them and provides an output to it where it gives diagnosis of the disease or provides treatment aspects, or it could be in voice conversion of the thing into the voice thing, or into, say, printing something also. As I talked about, custom-made printing devices, which you're going to use for hip implants or for jaw implants for that matter. So these are the various domains of AI in healthcare. And you talked about Alexa and the Google, we all know about Siri talking about, but what about AI when we use about with your नहीं चलता तुम्हारा नहीं होता मेरे से yeah, so telemedicine, that is developed during COVID times at Lady Hardinge Medical College from the Department of Dental and Maxillofacial Surgery for the Institute and for the Government of India. And initially we started with landline numbers and the WhatsApp number, but subsequently it was into this telephone number of IVRS, where anybody, actually what the idea was, that everybody should have an access. It should not be dependent upon a Android-based phone, or it should not be dependent on a computer. So what we had was a simpler technology, because healthcare, we want to provide to each one at the level of a village or the household ultimately. So the landline or the landline phone or a simple phone, which you talked about without an Android-based one, was the answer for us. And we could develop the technology using AI for managing our problems there. Then age estimation. You can do it much faster when your patient convicts coming in with age problems. So the court wants to know, or the police wants to know at what age he is. Because if he is less than 18 years, then he's a juvenile and he cannot be convicted. You know that? So above 18 years, you have to specify that. And there are convicts who don't know their age. You don't know their age. They have nothing, no documents available. So there's a board there where you talk about dental age, a skeletal age, a chronical age, and then determine that age there for that individual there and there itself. So basic networks are there, which Dr. S.P. Singh was saying about. I'll show you about the image being captured. So you take an oral image and then you feed it on the cloud. And ultimately, we train that computer. So what that computer does is basically analyzes that which all images have been turned into cancer, okay, and which are not. So it'll tell you exactly. And the result that we have is 97% sensitivity and 96% specificity. That means true positives, which it tells you is more than 95, 96% that this would be cancer, simply by a picture of that individual's oral cavity. And the specificity means that the negative factor. So any false or a true negative that would be there, a true negative is 97%. So that is much higher. But it's not 100%, mind you. Because 100% can only be said by the individual there. So by a histopathology report only, that is the gold standard where you need to diagnose oral cancer, and that can only be done by a human being sitting at the end. The only thing faster that the computer does is it gives you a report immediately. The report is delivered immediately in seconds or in minutes, whereas the human will take at least 3 days to roughly around 7 to 10 days to give that result. Sir. So various technologies that are used for oral cancer detection, and so that is a big concept that we talked about. So idea was that we're going to treat cancer always. Yes, we treat cancer as medical practitioners. We do that. But you see, the quality of life that I can provide to the patient is not more than 50% or 60%. I cannot do that. I cannot decrease cancer or mortality or morbidity of cancer to less than 50%. And that can only be done if I diagnose the cancer at an early stage. Okay, so that early stage is called as pre-cancer lesion or a oral potentially malignant disorder. That is called an OPMD or a pre-cancer. If I diagnose the pre-cancer stage, automatically I don't get the cancer being transferred there into cancer, and I can prevent and provide a good quality of life of more than 90% to these individuals. So pre-cancer risk factors that you all know, these are the typical risk factors. So the computer, what it does is it analyzes this thing. If you say a yes, tobacco, alcohol, combination yes. If I take cigarettes, if I take pan parag or something, or tobacco in the oral cavity 10 times in a day, so your risk of oral cancer increases. I know that. But the computer will do it much faster. Okay? It'll do much faster calculation than what a human being can do. So algorithm is the same. We have made that algorithm with Dr. S.P. Singh, but only thing when you feed in the computer, so it could just be in the cloud, you could sit at home, open your screen up in the Android-based phone, get that downloaded and put the risk factors there. And it'll tell you exactly how much of cancer do you have to develop that in future time. So this could be the predictive model. Similarly, the preventive model will come in. What you need to do to prevent oral cancer coming in. So SLT problem is rampant in our country. Tobacco consumption is rampant, and that is the cause for oral cancer. We need to really take care about that. And the problem lies does not only with smoking. It is smokeless form of tobacco, which is more common in the country and is the most important cause for oral cancer. Secondly, betel nut. What is talked about the your supari. Supari again is a very big factor for oral submucous fibrosis. I'll show you a slide for that also as we go ahead. So that is the area, and our southeast problem region is basically, as I said, smokeless form of tobacco and not the smoking form of tobacco. But that is the various form of tobacco smoking also. You've got cigarettes, BDs, your hookah bars there, and it's openly being done in malls and all. What you need to be careful is our younger generation who are there to be trained on. Fellows selling betel leaves there on the your grocery area, your area of the marketplace around where you buy vegetables around. It's not a vegetable to be bought around. It might be green in color, but an animal also knows that it's green plant will never go and have it. It'll just move away from that because of the smell that is there, and it knows it is not a food. It is an addictive agent. Again, betel nut, you see, it's like a grocery shop there. Dal ration you find there. This is betel nut there being provided in various forms there. So, risk factor for cancer as well as the tobacco or NCDs or the tobacco control are the same. Cancer are the same. And tobacco is the most important cause, among the other, being physical inactivity, unhealthy diets, and harmful use of alcohol. So these four risk factors are common, whether you are suffering from non-communicable disease. What by non-communicable disease I mean to say hypertension, diabetes, which are not communicable, and cancer also. So tobacco will ultimately kill you. It will not leave you in this planet. But why does it matter to the government when we say that tobacco is bad, it should be banned, it's going to kill you, everything? It's understood. But what is the problem? Because out of the four ministries that we see here, one, the health ministry is trying to ban tobacco. Other three ministries that are there, including CSRs, are there to catch the cash out. So revenue ministry, commerce ministry, the industry ministry, they say that it's more of an earner for the being, not as a risk for public health. So that is the issue there with government policies coming in. Oral lesions being diagnosed, that these are the oral lesions. If you have a white lesion, as you see there, if you have a reddish lesion, if you cannot open your mouth more than 1.5 finger or more than 1 finger, or an ulcer is there in oral cavity for more than 2 weeks and it's not getting healed, mind you, you should go to a practitioner and get yourself tested immediately. Otherwise, you will have oral cancer. Now, this model is there, right? You go to a doctor and get it done. What AI will do is, you just take an image of that photograph of your face, inner cavity, oral cavity, that white patch, red patch. You go on the Google and put that in our server there, what you devise with Dr. S.P. Singh and Pramita there at CSR. Immediately it will tell you the predictive value of oral cancer there. What are the chances of oral cancer there for you to come in? And what are the other diagnoses? But yes, you will have to come to a medical practitioner to see that, to show yourself up. Otherwise, the treatment will not be provided. About real intelligence, I think then could be the chance that you might get delivered that healthcare at your home. But at present, it is not there. So the signs and symptoms, I'll just go faster here. Self-examination again is very important for all of you here, because that role AI can immediately take up. It can teach you there. So teaching, as if somebody was saying about, Nikhil was saying, he can teach you at home that what to do if you've got oral cancer, breast cancer. He can teach you. Okay. So examine your upper lip. How do you do that? You see there. Imagine your examine your inner and cheeks there, right and left side, tongue both sides, left side, below your tongue. Okay. So the ventral part of the tongue, because these are the places where oral cancer comes in, and you need to identify them early stage. Because if you do not identify early, then the chances of your survival or your mortality and morbidity would be much higher, or more than 60%. Okay, so knowledge is of no use unless you put into practice. That's the most important thing that we've all learned about. So a patient here with oral submucous fibrosis cannot open a mouth there, and these are the typical signs there. So I'll show you my case that we operated around. Yeah. So a lady from Northeast, okay, reduced mouth opening, and that's the surgeries that we've carried out, both a bone surgery as well as soft tissue surgery, and that is the reconstruction part that we carried out, including a graft or the buccal pad of fat there, and we put in there, we put it on a 5-fluorouracil as a chemotherapeutic agent there, and that is the post-op with our x-rays, how a mouth opening and the quality of life has much improved from what it was previously. Okay, so what should be done? You see, each one has a role there. We all are stakeholders in that AI in healthcare. Data privacy, whatever you're talking about, privacy is very important. If you need to share your data with me, or if I need to store the data as a government or as a practitioner, I think we need to have some laws there or cyber security in a major way. Data ownership. Who will own this data? You have the government of India now with the program of Aadhaar card or the UHI card that you can generate yourself. So what will happen is, ultimately, in the next generation, what will happen is, a few years from now, a doctor will have his Aadhaar card, patient will have his Aadhaar card. When he goes to a medical practitioner and he fills up that, so it will be on blockchain technology, he opens that card up, the screen will open up the computer, and then the doctor will put his UHI card there, and the patient's data he can see immediately in front of the patient, what all surgery has been carried out, what all drugs he's taking, wherever he goes, whether in the government sector or private sector or primary, secondary, tertiary, community healthcare, wherever he goes, what medicine he's taken, what from a chemist, farmer, all the lab reports you can see there in there itself. So it's all about partnership in healthcare when you talk about. And the health ministry had taken that lead with Dr. Harshvardhan there. Long time back, he told about AI in the public health domain coming in. So you talked about advantages. You've heard about advantages that it does improve diagnosis and faster diagnosis and analyze data. It carries out administrative routine tasks much better. Health monitoring, preventive, predictive values are there. Disadvantage will require training of that, and changes can be difficult. It is not easy for a mindset in a medical practitioner to change that I need to be dependent on something. I require training in that if I'm going to robotic surgery. That is most important in the times to come to do that. So patient compliance is there. And at the end, I would say it is more of a adaptation to the changing healthcare system that we all need to take care about. And the time is not far away when you, instead of artificial intelligence, you will have real intelligence coming in. So this is one case that we operated. Similarly, she had a giant cell tumor, ameloblastoma. This is a giant cell tumor of jaws. And next slide. So we operated that, put in that bone plate there. You've seen that in the X-ray, and we reconstructed that. So ultimately, she will go in for implants of that area. Next slide. So again, changing faces here. AI is helping us. What we should do was putting on tracings there. Okay, I'll show you the X-ray. He's got a big jaw. You see the lower jaw is totally out. You got that we call a skeletal class 3 position of the jaws. Next slide. So his jaws are total out with the teeth and reverse bite there. Next slide. So we do that X-ray, we should do it manually. Now what AI does is, we take a CT of that patient and we put that into a software, and the prediction comes in like this, everything there for us to do that. So it's made our life much easier for us to operate these patients, because planning is the most important thing when you got to do the aesthetic surgeries. Next slide. So that is the surgery we're carrying out. The maxilla has been fractured around. Next slide. And bone plated. So you see his face, the upper part has come out now, and the lower part doesn't look as apparent. So what you are finding was the lower jaw was out, but actually the problem that was there in analysis was the upper jaw was in. So instead of a bite like this, he had a bite like this. So what we brought is a bite by that, and that can only be done what I showed you with your prediction analysis by a computer there. Next slide. So that is the pre-op and that is the post-op that you see of the jaws coming back in. Next one. Again, a second surgery, same thing, orthognathic surgery we call it. Next one. Again, a tumor of the jaws. So CT scans of this patient, you don't see anything here, right? No swelling there apparently. On the left side, if you see there, next slide, you see that tumor on the left side, a massive 8 centimeter, 9 centimeter tumor in the oral cavity. Now that has to be removed. How do I do that? That is more important for me. To analyze that and to reproduce in the OT there in my theatre, and the time period to be reduced. Now that can only be done by AI and software and simulation of that patient into my screen, computer screen, and then following that into surgery. Next one. So what we did was, we split his lips up, we split his bone, if you see there at the left, right one, lower part, and plated it ultimately, and that is how we accept the tumor. Access the tumor is right there, a tumor is there, removed out. Okay, next. So that is a tumor out there. It's a nerve sheath tumor, and that is exposed on the patient. Next one. So, yeah. So this is next one. Next one. So again, a tumor patient. Next one. Yeah. So this is reconstructing the jaw again using AI. So what the prediction is done by a computer, and that is followed up in the surgery plan of the patient. Next one. Next one. Next. Yeah. So this here, again a tumor patient, where we did some type of additive manufacturing of an implant there. Next one. So these are templates that we did, surgery-wise, which helped us decreasing the OT time and the cost for the patient. And that is the implants which we made her reconstruct the jawbone. Next one. And that is being done. Jawbone in C2. Next one. And ultimately she'll go in with bone implants. Next one. Again, a patient with trauma again. Okay. Now she's got a dislocated jaw, everything. Now this can only be done by AI. I cannot do that as fast as possible. AI will help me do it much faster and predict and reproduce what I'm planning in my OT table. Next one. Next. So people matter to us most because we are looking at the outcomes of patients here. Next one. So thank you so much for present here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Agarwal sir, for that.
एक कोई बात नहीं सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। मैंने एक अच्छा डिसीजन लिया कि लंच के बाद इसको रखा, तो आप इसकी फोटो देख देख के हो सकता है लंच करने में दिक्कत आती है बहुत से लोगों को। एज ए बीइंग डॉक्टर आपका प्रोफेशन है सर, हम चार्ट अकाउंटेंट हैं, हम तो वो आर्थिक बात जानते हैं कि आप कितना पैसा लेते हैं और कितना पैसा खर्च होता है। थैंक यू वेरी मच, आपने बहुत अच्छा मोटिवेट भी किया, हमें समझाया भी। लेकिन एक बात जरूर शेयर करना चाहूँगा कि जो डॉक्टर साहब ने बताया है, कहीं ना कहीं हम लोगों की लाइफ से बहुत जुड़ा हुआ है। एक पेशेंट तो मैं जानता हूँ, कामेशकांत आचार्य जी, वो उसके खुद विक्टिम्स हैं, मैं डॉक्टर साहब से मिलवाया था। ऐसी बात नहीं, ये जो बताया वो अच्छा बताया है, लेकिन लंच से पहले होता तो शायद लगता मुझे दिक्कत आती। ठीक है, फिर भी अच्छा है। थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब। डॉक्टर मेरा हमारे जब से हम प्रोग्राम करते हैं हेल्थ केयर का, सर का बहुत बड़ा सहयोग रहता है, हमेशा बड़ा प्रेरणा स्रोत करते हैं। जैसे मैंने अभी लंच कर रहा था तो मैं कि डॉक्टर मेरा को मैंने माइक दे दिया है, अब मुझे चिंता नहीं है वहाँ क्या होगा, अपने आप संभाल लेंगे। और उन्होंने 1.5 घंटा ऐसे निकाल दिया, पता ही लगा। तो ये डॉक्टर मेहरा जी की एक बहुत बड़ी खासियत है, एक बार आप उनका अभिनंदन करें तालियों के साथ। और अब समय कम है, लेकिन मैं सबका स्वागत, सबका सम्मान करना भी चाहते हैं, क्योंकि जितने स्पीकर हैं सभी अपनी अपनी फील्ड से आते हैं, टाइम निकालते हैं, बहुत दूर से चल के आते हैं। तो हमारा एक मतलब हमारा एक कर्तव्य बनता है कि हम उनका भी स्वागत करें। और स्वागत का एक परंपरा है कि हम मोमेंटो देते हैं और बाकी उनको बाकी हम उनसे आशीर्वाद भी लेते हैं कि भी आपने अच्छा बोला है तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे फायदेमंद होगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सभी स्पीकर का। तो सबसे पहले मैं नूर बानो जी हैं, वो मंच पे आए हैं, और डॉक्टर मेहरा को स्मृति चिन्ह देके आप अभिनंदन करें। आइए डॉक्टर मेहरा जी का एक मोमेंटो निकाल दें। इसके बाद एसपी सिंह जी का है। मैडम आप आइए। नूर बारो जी आप ही हैं। अमनो जो रीना जी आप भी आ रही हैं। ये आपको सबको प्रेजेंट करना है, ये आप अच्छा, मेरे ख्याल से आप फॉरेन से आई हैं, इसलिए तो थोड़ा यहाँ की परंपराएं शायद। थैंक यू मैडम, आपका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने यहाँ आए थे।
मेरा ये कभी पर्पस नहीं था कि आप लोग को डरा या कुछ करना। My idea was when I was told about AI and healthcare, मैंने कहा ऑडियंस को हम क्या बेनिफिट दे सकते हैं, क्या हम लोग कहाँ यूज कर रहे हैं, you should know about that. That is more important.
देखिए मैं आपको बता दूं कि हमने AI पे कई कार्यक्रम करे हैं CSR रिसर्च फाउंडेशन ने। मैं जब डॉक्टर साहब से मिला तो मुझे पता लगा कि जैसे कि माउथ का कैंसर जो होता है तो फिर इस स्टेज में कैसे हम डिटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। तो डॉक्टर साहब ने बताया कि क्या होता है कि इनका कई पेशेंट्स आते हैं, लाखों पेशेंट का ये डाटा इकट्ठा करके किसको कैसे हुआ, किसको हमने दवाई दी, कैसे प्रेडिक्ट हुआ, हाउ टू स्टार्ट। कभी क्या होता है एकदम कोई कैंसर एकदम नहीं होता, किसी भी चीज की उत्पत्ति एकदम नहीं होती, स्लोली स्लोली होती। तो बोले हमने लाखों 2 लाख 10 लाख अच्छी पिक्चर्स को उसमें डालते हैं सिस्टम में, तब वो डिटेक्ट करता है कि अगर ऐसी पिक्चर बन रही है तो उसका आउटकम आगे वाले समय में क्या होगा। इसलिए एआई का बहुत बड़ा यूज है हेल्थ केयर में। सबसे बड़ा यूज यही है कि हम अपने आप बीमारी को पहले प्रेडिक्ट कर लेते हैं। यही एआई का सबसे बड़ा हेल्थ केयर में बहुत फायदा होता है, इसलिए स्पेशली हेल्थ केयर का हमने रखा था। प्लीज
मैं आपसे शेयर करना चाहूंगा एक और इंसिडेंस। हमारे जो मैं बोलूंगा बुजुर्ग डॉक्टर थे, वो हेल्थ मिनिस्टर भी थे और चीफ मिनिस्टर भी रहे वेस्ट बंगाल के, डॉक्टर बीसी रॉय। हाँ, जब वो पास करके यहाँ पे पीजी कर ली उन्होंने, तो यूके गए थे अपना डिग्री लेने के लिए। तो वहां जो गए, एग्जाम देना था उनको, तो उनसे एग्जाम के टाइम पे पूछा जाना था क्वेश्चंस। तो उनको पेशेंट दिखाए, ये एक वार्ड ले गए, उनको पेशेंट दिखाए। तो वहां पे 30-40 पेशेंट थे उस वार्ड में, यूके में। तो उन्होंने जैसे वार्ड में घुसे ना, उन्होंने कहा ऐसे है, यहाँ पे ना एक पेशेंट ट्यूबरकुलर का है। तो बड़े बड़े लोग थे यूके, यू कैन सर्च द इंटरनेट, आपको मिलेगा उनका ये। तो उनका बड़ा ये था कि कैसे हो सकता है, टीबी यूके में हो ही नहीं सकती, ये पॉसिबल। यू नो, बाय द टाइम नेक्स्ट डे जब एग्जाम हुआ, वो टेस्ट रिपोर्ट आई, उसमें से एक पेशेंट पॉजिटिव ट्यूबरकुलर निकला। सो दैट इज दी जो से इज ओनली इंटेलिजेंस देयर। उनकी इंटेलिजेंस थी बिकॉज उन्होंने इतने पेशेंट देखे हुए थे ट्यूबरकुलर इंडिया में कि ही कुड स्मेल टीबी। दैट इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ हेल्थ केयर। तो एआई वहां आता है, इट वर्क्स, मेक्स यू फास्टर। ट्रेनिंग करने के लिए आपको जो ट्रेनिंग 1000 पेशेंट से मिलती है, वो आपको 3 पेशेंट में ऑलरेडी ट्रेन होकर दिखाता है। एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी आर डेवलपिंग विद डॉक्टर एसपी सिंह, कि जो इमेजेस है, आज मैं अगर 1000 पेशेंट देखूंगा, मेरे को 10 साल 20 साल आराम से लग जाएंगे। लेकिन एक अगर मैं हेल्थ केयर अगर लाना चाहता हूं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस फॉर ओरल कैंसर डायग्नोसिस में, और मैं वो एक अप्लायंस और एक स्मार्ट स्क्रीन फोन एक अपने आशा वर्कर को दूंगा विलेज के लिए, तो उसको तो कोई ट्रेनिंग ही नहीं है। अगर मैं एक मॉडल ट्रेन कर दूंगा कंप्यूटर को, ऑटोमेटिकली दैट विल बी फास्टर देन एनीथिंग। सो दैट इज द पावर ऑफ एआई इन हेल्थ केयर। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट आप प्लीज नहीं, ऐसा है कि जब डॉक्टर साहब ने बता दिया तो आप ऐसे 3 उंगली डाल के देख लीजिए, जरूरत ही नहीं है। आपका अपना पर्सनल ये एक्सपेरिमेंट है। अभी आपने देखा हो जो तंबाकू खाते हैं तो उनका मुंह खुलते ही नहीं है, ये करते रहते नहीं है, तो वो भी एक साइन है कि कहीं ना कहीं आपको कैंसर होने वाला। चलिए एनीवे, लाइटर वे, मैं माफी चाहूंगा, डिले हो रहा है सेशन, फिर भी अब मैं ललित अरोड़ा जी से कहूंगा कि वो मंच पे आए और एसपी सिंह साहब को एक मोमेंटो देके, उसके बाद मैं बंदा जी से और ये विवेक किशन शर्मा जी दोनों आए हैं मंच पे, मैं एक एक करके आई लगी। एसपी सिंह जी के बाद डॉक्टर सिद्धार्थ पाठक, सिद्धार्थ बख्शी जी का। एक मिनट मैडम, एक मिनट। और ये विवेक किशन शर्मा जी, डॉक्टर सार्थक बख्शी जी, प्लीज आइए। सार्थक जी इधर कुछ चीजें परमानेंट नहीं चाहिए। बंदा गोलाई से मैं निवेदन करूंगा कि पनीर सोमानी जी का भी अभिनंदन करें। एक पनीर सोमानी और निखिल बंसल जी के लिए बताओ। आइए बैठो, आइए आप आ गए आराम से। और अभिजीत भट्ट जी हैं भी, आइए आप। निखिल बंसल जी चार्ट अकाउंटेंट हैं और मुझे ताज्जुब हो रहा कि निखिल जी स्पीकर हैं, तो मैं निखिल जी आपको कई बार याद करूंगा, आज ही मुझे पता लगा आपके बारे। तो हाँ, मुझे नहीं पता नहीं, हाँ बहुत अच्छा बोलते हैं, नो डाउट। ऐसी शक्ति अगर आगे आती है तो बहुत प्रेरणा की जरूरत है। आप चार्ट अकाउंटेंट भी हैं और एनसी बंसल जी के सुपुत्र भी हैं और मेरे छोटे भाई कहूंगा मैं उनको, मैं भतीजा नहीं कहूंगा। थैंक यू निखिल जी, बहुत अच्छा लगा। एक ग्रुप फोटो के सब लोग हम आगे आ जाए। एसपी सिंह जी, एक मैं परिचय दूंगा। हमारे बीच में बीसी लखेड़ा जी हैं। लखेड़ा जी के बारे में बता दूं, ही बहुत इनके बारे में, ये नाड़ी विज्ञान को जानते हैं और हेम्योपैथिक के अच्छे डॉक्टर हैं। अभी एचओडी थे लेडी हार्डी मेडिकल कॉलेज में, तो उनका भी एक स्वागत करना चाहूंगा। और इसके लिए यश निधि मेहता जी आइए आप प्लीज। लकीला जी पहले भी लेडी हार्डी मेडिकल कॉलेज में थी, आज इनका अपना खुद का क्लिनिक खुल गया है। यश निधि मेहता जी प्लीज। अभी मावा साहब कह रहे थे कि क्लिनिक में घूमे आते हैं, मैंने कि ऐसा मौका मिला ही नहीं घूमने का, क्लिनिक में जाने का। एनीवे ग्रुप फोटो के लिए सबको इनवाइट करना चाहूंगा। एसपी सिंह जी आइए ग्रुप फोटो में। आइए आइए मैडम आइए प्लीज। मैडम इधर आइए।
दो लोग बाकी रह गए हैं। जो बैकबोन तो मनोज जी है, तो मनोज जी आप क्यों पीछे बैठे हैं? आकर जाओ। एंड नुरबानो प्लीज कम फॉरवर्ड। आकाश हमारा किधर गया? Where is my आकाश? हाँ, हम उसको जानते हैं। हाँ, आकाश आप भी आ जाओ।
मैडम ऐसे में क्या है कि जो हमारा, मैडम आपको एक बता दूं मैं आपको कि जो सेशन होता है समापन समारोह, तब हम सब लोग को इनवाइट करते हैं, ठीक है। चलिए थैंक। अभी थैंक यू। हमें इसमें जो टी ब्रेक था, हमने चाय आपको सर्व करा दी है। अब इसको हम सेशन को कंटिन्यू रखेंगे और 5वें सेशन के लिए मैं मावा जी से निवेदन करूंगा कि वो मंच संभालें और आगे करें।
Okay, good evening to all of you. क्या चीज? हाँ हाँ वो पता चल गया मेरे को। So last session of the day, AI's role in business management. The topic is this, and we have 4 speakers. So I'd like to request the speakers. I'll call their name. Please come to the dais. Mr. Ankit Kumar, Regional Training Head, Aditya. If he's here, I think. Okay, please come. Mr. Umesh Agarwal, Business Head, Construmart Online Private Limited. Mr. Akash Chandra, Founder and CEO, Insight AI. Okay, please. CA Sweta Pathak, former Vice Chairperson, NIRC of ICAI. अच्छा श्वेता आ गई. So 4 speakers. Final session. और चाय सबके टेबल पे आ चुकी है, तो चाय सब पीते रहे और चाय की चुस्कियों के साथ अपना, जिसको नहीं मिली वो पीछे से जाकर ले आ सकता है. That option is there. So now we will start, and they will be talking about some of the topics which I am just reading out. Streamlining operations, role of AI in finance and accounting, data-driven decision making, enhancing customer experience, risk management and security. So कुछ इसमें से पहले भी कवर हुआ है लेकिन they will be putting their own perspective on this. So first I would like to invite Mr. Ankit Kumar, Regional Training Head, Aditya Birla Capital. Mr. Ankit, please.
Good afternoon, all. As sir told that my name is Ankit Kumar. I am Senior Regional Training Head from Aditya Birla. So today we are going to talk about one prominent aspect of each and everyone's life. It is regarding you, regarding me, regarding everyone, which is आप लोगों ने I'm sure अपने father से या grandfather से जरूर ये सुना होगा कि पहला सुख निरोगी Kaya, right? The first major happiness in the life is the good health. And today we are going to talk about the second major aspect of the life, which is financial planning, right? So if we talk about the financial planning, the first and foremost thing which comes in our mind, that what is financial planning, right? So financial planning is nothing but if you and we are completing our dreams in the proper planned manner, right? If we talk about each and everyone, so in everyone's life there are 5 dreams. Like if I'm working somewhere, I've started working, then the first dream that comes in my mind will be I have to buy a car. Generally, the second thing which comes in our mind, that I have to buy a house, my own house. The third thing, that my child will get their desired education. The fourth one is my children will get a great kind of wedding. And the last and the prominent part, which generally people skip, a comfortable, happy retirement. And if we are doing, or if we are planning all these 5 essential dreams in the proper plan manner, that is called the financial planning. So since we have understood what is the financial planning, now we'll talk about why it is necessary and what are the major factor which you should think about whenever you are going for the financial planning. The first thing and the major part is inflation. I guess we all know what is inflation. Suppose if I have a child and I'm sorry, I'm going to plan his education. I want that after 10 years he want to be in MBA, and right now the cost of MBA is 20 lakhs, right? And I'm planning according to that. But sadly, after 10 years, that 20 lakh rupees value will be around 10 lakh rupees. So I have to plan accordingly. Whenever you are going for the financial planning, you have to keep the inflation in your mind. That is the number one thing. And second part is life expectancy. Can anyone tell me, like in the 1980s or 1990s, the life expectancy would have been less or higher than what it is right now? Lesser? Absolutely right. It was around 58 years. But due to the medical excellence, right now the life expectancy is around 77 years. And 10 year after, it will hovering around 80 to 83 years, right? So whenever you are going for the retirement planning, so keep this in your mind, that right now maybe you think that I will live for the 70 years, but after 10 year or 12 year, because of the medical advancement, you may live till 80-85 years. So साहब ज्यादा जिएंगे तो ज्यादा खर्च करना पड़ेगा, उसके लिए ज्यादा पैसा चाहिए होगा. सो ये चीज भी आप जरूर ध्यान में रखिएगा जब भी अपनी फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग कीजिए. तीसरा प्रोमिनेंट पार्ट आता है क्या, हमारे जो दादाजी के टाइम पे थे, तो देयर यूज्ड टू बी अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ जॉइंट, राइट? जॉइंट फैमिली. तो अगर कहीं किसी को कुछ इधर उधर हुआ भी, सो देर आर पीपल जो हमारी फैमिली को टेक केयर कर सकते हैं. बट आज के एरा में क्या है, इट इज एन एरा ऑफ न्यूक्लियर फैमिली. व्हाट इफ अ सोल ब्रेड winner of a family is no more, the complete finance status of the family will go down. So please keep this thing in your mind. If I am not there, so have I arranged a proper corpus for my family, that after me my family status will stay as it is right now, right? So this is the third thing which we should keep in our mind. And the fourth and the major part is the FD rates are decreasing, right? Past 10 years it was around 9%. Right now it is 7%, or maybe from 3 year ago, 3 year after, it will be around 5%. So FD rates are decreasing while the market is quite volatile. So it is recommended when you are going for the financial planning that you should not keep all your eggs under the same bucket. Means you should diversify your portfolio, right? And the last part comes why this financial planning, what will be the thumb rule of this financial planning, what kind of a rule you should follow when you are going for the financial planning. And after that we'll talk about how AI will help in financial planning, right? So the first thumb rule, generally हम लोग क्या करते हैं, पैसा आया, खर्च किया, बाकी बचा हुआ पैसे में से सेव किया. बट दैट इज द ओल्ड टाइप ऑफ थिंकिंग, जिस तरीके से हम फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग करते हैं. राइट नाउ इन द करंट एरा व्हाट वी डू, पैसा आया, जितना मुझे सेव करना था मैंने उतना करके रखा, जितना मुझे सेव करना है करके रखा, बाकी बचे हुए पैसे से मैंने स्पेंड किया. रीजन बीइंग, हर एक इंसान की एक फितरत होती है, ठीक है, कि जितना पैसा इंक्रीज होता जाएगा, आज मेरी सैलरी 50,000 रुपीज है सपोज, मेरे एक्सपेंसेस उसी के अकॉर्डिंग है. मेरी सैलरी 1 साल बाद ही हार्डली 1 लाख रुपए होती है, मेरी एक्सपेंसेस एकदम से शूट अप करते हैं, राइट? दिस इज अ नॉर्मल ह्यूमन नेचर. सो ये ध्यान रखिए, अगर आप दूसरे फॉर्मूला से चलते हैं, पहले पैसा बचाइए, उसके बाद जो पैसा बचा आप उसको खर्चे के अंदर लगा सकते हैं अकॉर्डिंगली. एंड द लास्ट थंब रूल ऑफ द प्रॉपर फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग इज कि आप लोग शुरुआत जल्दी करें. पैसा इन्वेस्ट करने की एक भूल जो हम में से मोस्टली लोग करते हैं, जब भी आप किसी से बात करोगे, एज आई एम इन द फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर, आई नो लिटिल बिट अबाउट इट, कि 25 साल के किसी भी कस्टमर से पूछेंगे ना, किसी भी इंसान से पूछेंगे, सर आप अपना रिटायरमेंट प्लान क्यों नहीं करते, जो पहली चीज वो बोलते हैं, सर अभी तो मैं जवान हूं, अभी क्या जरूरत है, राइट? इफ यू आर एट 25 ईयर एज में अगर आप अभी हो, आप पैसा इन्वेस्ट करते हो फॉर योर रिटायरमेंट, यू हैव टू इन्वेस्ट वेरी लेस अमाउंट to get a good corpus at the age of 60 or at the age of 58, whatever you deem fit with, right? So this thing you should keep in the mind कि आप पैसे को जल्दी इन्वेस्ट करना शुरू करें. You need to invest it regularly, जो हमें SIP सिखाती है, ताकि आपको मार्केट का जो हर एक रेट है एवरेज आउट होके, जिसे हम बोलते हैं डॉलर कॉस्ट एवरेजिंग या फिर रुपी कॉस्ट एवरेजिंग, राइट? एंड द थर्ड पार्ट इज कि आप लॉन्ग टर्म तक इन्वेस्ट करें. आप किसी भी बड़े इन्वेस्टर को देखिए, वेदर इट इज अ वॉरेन बफेट या फिर हमारे स्वर्गीय राकेश झुंझुनवाला जी, ये किसी भी बड़ी कंपनी में, टाइटन में थे या किसी भी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट थे, दे वर इन्वेस्टेड फॉर द लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो यही दिस इज द की कि आप अच्छा पैसा जनरेट कर सकते हैं. तो दीज आर द बेसिक थंब रूल्स जिसके थ्रू हम फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग को बेटर बना सकते हैं. अब बात करते हैं एआई इसके अंदर कैसे हेल्प कर सकता है. अब एआई इसके अंदर इस तरीके से हेल्प करेगा. इफ आई टेक अबाउट द एग्जांपल ऑफ इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री, सो इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री में भी सर थे, आई डोंट नो द नेम ऑफ दैट पर्सन, उन्होंने कहा कि एआई क्या करता है, डेटा उठाता है लाखों लोगों का, हजारों लोगों का, और उसको फिर एनालाइज करता है, फाइंड आउट करता है एक पैटर्न, और उसके हिसाब से रिजल्ट प्रोवाइड करवाता है. सेम होता है इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर भी. आज से अगर 15 साल या 10 साल पहले की बात करूं, क्लेम सेटल करने में बहुत टाइम लगता था. आज क्लेम सेटल कंपैरेटिवली बहुत जल्दी होता है. आपके हिसाब से, कस्टमर के हिसाब से कस्टमाइज प्रोडक्ट बना दिया जा सकता है, जैसा आपको रिक्वायरमेंट है. सपोज करो आप ABCD भी नहीं जानते फाइनेंस के बारे में, आपको चाहिए कि मेरे को 30 लाख रुपए चाहिए, इस पर्टिकुलर टाइम पर चाहिए, इतना पैसा मैं दे सकता हूं, रिस्क एपेटाइट मेरा ये है, कंजर्वेटिव है, मॉडरेट है या एग्रेसिव है. आप ये डिटेल डालिए आदित्य बिरला की साइट में, यू विल गेट द प्रॉपर प्रोडक्ट. दिस इज कॉल्ड द AI चैटबॉट, जो हर एक कंपनी अब इंट्रोड्यूस कर रही है, जिससे चीजें बहुत आसान होती हैं एंड चीजें बहुत स्ट्रीमलाइन भी होती हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, जो लोग ट्रेडिंग करते हैं, वो लोग ट्रेडिंग में भी AI बॉट का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. आपको कुछ नहीं करना बॉस, आप सो जाइए, आप अपने हिसाब से सेट कीजिए कि कब आपकी जो ट्रेड है वो बॉट लेता रहेगा, प्रॉफिट बुक करता रहेगा। इस तरीके से भी एआई का इस्तेमाल फाइनेंस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर भी हो रहा है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑल दीज, बाय एनालाइजिंग ऑल द डेटास, कस्टमर की जो सेटिस्फैक्ट्री लिमिट है, एक्सपेक्टेशंस जो है वो तो ऊपर गई हैं, उनकी सेटिस्फैक्शन रेट भी ऊपर गया है। जस्ट बिकॉज कि सारा का सारा डेटा एनालाइज करके हम वो ही क्लेम को आगे अप्रूव करते हैं जो एक्चुअल के अंदर होने चाहिए, एंड इट हेल्प्स इन द अंडरराइटिंग ऑल्सो। सो द फर्स्ट पार्ट में हमने बात करी अबाउट द फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग किस तरीके से करी जा सकती है, एंड सेकेंड पार्ट हाउ द एआई इज मेकिंग दिस थिंग बेटर। सो दैट इज ऑल फ्रॉम माई साइड, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Ankit. Thank you very much. Because now, actually, the new generation is already, I think, they are towards this. They are doing this SIP. They talk about SIPs and all. I think because of this awareness. So, we have our chief guest arrived for the valedictory function. His Excellency Dr. Janice Darbari. She is Honorary Consulate General of Republic of Montenegro. So, CSR. So, ma'am, you have to listen for two more speakers and then we'll have function later on. So we have Mr. Umesh Agarwal, Business Head, Construmart Online Private Limited. Actually, first time I'm listening that, I don't know. Please.
Good evening, sir. I am Umesh Agrawal from Customer Business Head. My company is an aggregator company. We are a prime steel supplier on pan-India levels. We have across this company journey started in 2016. So now is company has approximately 8 years. We are a customized company. As a Customart is a plan the provide the service as per the customer needs. So this is the company name is a Customart. We have a pan-India reach, and we have a customer network 500, and we have a 400 retail networks. Now this concern is a AI. AI, so every person want to a dream homes and mega projects. तो हर बंदे की एक उसमें कॉस्ट आती है, हर बंदा चाहता है कि मेरा ड्रीम होम हो, हम उसमें कैसे मिनिमाइज कॉस्टिंग में एक अच्छा चीज़ें प्लान कर पाएँ। तो उस कंसर्न में हम लोग जो आजकल सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, वी आर यूजिंग द AI टूल्स। AI tools के थ्रू वी आर सर्विंग द डाटा स्टोरेज, फोरकास्टिंग जो गवर्नमेंट मेगा प्रोजेक्ट हैं, रेलवे ब्रिज हैं, NHAI की प्रोजेक्ट हैं, उनमें हम लोग AI के थ्रू सपोर्ट करते हैं, फोरकास्टिंग करते हैं, मिनिमम कॉस्टिंग में बेटर आउटपुट कैसे ला सकते हैं, उस प्रकार से हम लोग AI के थ्रू प्लानिंग करके उसका एक प्रॉपर आउटपुट लाते हैं। हमारे जो टाइप हैं वो सेल, RINL, जिंदल, जो इंडिया की नेशनल नॉमिनेटेड कंपनी है, इन सब से हमारा टाइप है जो है। वैसे तो अगर मैं बात करूँ AI में, हम जो मॉर्निंग से उठते हैं और रात तक सोते हैं, कंटिन्यूसली हम लोग AI के टच में रहते हैं। एवरीबडी कनेक्ट इन टेक्नोलॉजी, वो सारी चीज़ें पार्ट AI के अंदर ही आती हैं। उसमें मतलब जैसे काउंटलेस ये टाइम स्लॉट छोटा पड़ जाएगा अगर हम AI के बेनिफिट को मैं गिनाना चालू करूँ तो। पर इन शॉर्ट पीरियड इस कंसर्न डाटा स्टोरेज हम लोग बहुत अच्छा कर सकते हैं AI के थ्रू, फोरकास्टिंग कर सकते हैं, कॉस्ट प्रेडिक्शन कर सकते हैं, एक एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं, जो रेलवे ब्रिज वगैरह या फ्लाईओवर्स वगैरह बनते हैं कि क्या कॉस्टिंग आती है, क्या इसमें पॉपुलेशन के थ्रू एक आने वाले टाइम में क्या चीज़ हो सकती हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हम AI के थ्रू वेस्ट कर रहे हैं आज की डेट में जो है। इतने सारे बेनिफिट होने के बाद भी हर चीज़ के दो पहलू होते हैं, एक पॉजिटिव एक नेगेटिव। AI का पॉजिटिव यह है कि हम अगर AI को हम अपना मान रहे हैं, हम उस पर कमांड कर रहे हैं तो इज पॉजिटिव, लेकिन AI हम पे कंट्रोल कर रहा है तो डेट इज नेगेटिव। तो हमें इसी चीज़ को कॉम्बिनेशन को प्रॉपर बैलेंसिंग के साथ रखना है कि ये हमारे ऊपर हावी ना हो जाए। इसलिए जो पहले था नेचुरल पावर थी, नेचुरल इंटेलिजेंस, ये AI से पहले की है। हमारे जो फादर्स थे वो फोरकास्टिंग करते थे, एनालिसिस करते थे जो ह्यूमन से जो है, तो उसी के पार्ट में एक इंटेलिजेंस निकल के आई, क्योंकि आज की हर ह्यूमन की एक लिमिटेशन हो गई है जो है। तो जो एक मशीनरी एक एक्यूरेसी आ पाती है वो एज ए ह्यूमन काउंटिंग में नहीं आ पाती उस चीज़ के लिए। तो AI अपना एक बड़ा मेगा और बेटर रोल प्ले करता है जो है। उसमें कस्टमर के पास वो कस्टमर्स आते हैं, कस्टमर सप्लाइंग इन दिल्ली एनसीआर, नॉर्थ इंडिया एंड पैन इंडिया लेवल्स। तो उनकी जो प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं जो मेगा प्रोजेक्ट्स की जो है, चाहे वो कॉस्टिंग रिगार्डिंग हो या फोरकास्टिंग रिगार्डिंग हो, उसमें वो एआई के थ्रू कस्टमर को बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइड करता है। तो मैं इन सच्चे में ज़्यादा समय नहीं लूँगा सेल्स के लिए, क्योंकि सभी लोग काफ़ी बोल चुके हैं एआई के एडवांटेज और डिसएडवांटेज के बारे में। बस मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा एआई के लिए, अगर हम एआई को एज ए पॉजिटिव मैनर यूज़ करते हैं तो ही इज़ द बेस्ट फ्रेंड, इज़ द बेस्ट टूल। बट अगर हम एआई को अपने ऊपर हावी होने देते हैं तो इससे बड़ा खराब एज ए ह्यूमन के लिए कुछ हो नहीं सकता। तो संक्षेप में मैं यही बोलूँगा इस चीज़ के लिए। जैसे कि कंपनी इंट्रोडक्शन है, मिस्टर मितेश सिंह इज द फाउंडर ऑफ दिस कंपनी। उन्होंने इस विजन के साथ इस कंपनी को स्टार्ट किया कि मैं एक कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री में एक डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करूं, सॉल्यूशन दूं लोगों को, जो कि हमारे इंडिया में कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री में ट्रेडिशनल में जैसे काम होता था उसको उन्होंने डिजिटलाइजेशन देने की कोशिश की है। तो थ्रू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। नेक्स्ट, this is a benefits of the AI: improve safety, enhance productivity, cost efficiency, better planning, and risk management. Next slide. Next, जो आज की डेट में एआई कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री में जो कंपनियां जो अपना सॉफ्टवेयर ले हैं एआई की, दे आर फॉलोइंग कंपनीज ऑटोडेस्क, ट्रिम्बल, वेनालिटी सिस्टम, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑर्बिट, और नंबर ऑफ एआई कंपनियां जो वर्किंग कर रही हैं एआई के लिए जो है, और आने वाले फ्यूचर में एआई अपना बहुत मेजर रोल प्ले करेगा जो है। अब ये हमने पॉजिटिव हमने एक स्टैंड काउंट किया, साथ में नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। डिसएडवांटेज भी यही है कि जो मैंने पहले बोला कि मैंने अगर हमने उस चीज़ को एज ए पॉजिटिव लिया तो एआई इज बेस्ट, बट अगर हम नेगेटिव लिया तो एआई हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ा हमारा एनिमी बन जाएगा जो ह्यूमन के लिए जो है। तो हमको इसी चीज़ पे अपने को कंट्रोल करना है कि हम इसे पॉजिटिव मैनर में यूज़ करें। एआई हमारे लिए, हम एआई के लिए नहीं है। इस रूल को हमेशा अपने माइंड में रखना है। नेक्स्ट, थैंक यू। तो मेरी जो स्लाइड थी एआई से शुरू हुई, एआई पे कंप्लीट हुई। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू वेश जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। भाई एआई को हावी मत होने देना, एआई को अपना एज असिस्टेंट यूज करना है अपने को। दैट इज अ मैसेज गिवन बाय हिम। सो लेट अस यूज एआई एज आवर असिस्टेंट, नॉट एज ए आवर फादर। ठीक है जी, आई थिंक दिस इज द क्रक्स व्हिच यू हैव टोल्ड। So now we have another speaker, Mr. Akash Chandra. He's a founder and CEO of Insight AI. I invite him for young man.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. First of all, thank you, Fame Finders, for inviting me. So, I am Akash Chandra. A brief about me. So, I am the founder and CEO at Insight AI, which is a company into early fraud detection and risk management. I'm a graduate from IIT Kanpur and Universities of Texas, Austin. I have a decade of experience in machine learning and financial, basically fintech. Basically, what I'll be doing is I'll be running through what exactly happens in financial fraud detection and how AI plays a major role, specifically right now for financial analytics and financial fraud detection. So the major problem that happens, why financial fraud detection is a big problem, is because of the complexity of data, right? Because when you talk about the financial data, the data is like, first of all, the quantum of data is huge, and secondly, the storage of data is varied. For example, whenever you have to find out whether a particular transaction is authentic or not, you need to understand the transactional data, which is stored in a SQL kind of database. Then you need to analyze the KYC data, which is stored in a big database. You have the call recordings, messages, etc., which is completely unstructured, right? And then you have digital footprints like IP location, etc. You need to analyze all this data together, and then only you are able to understand whether a transaction is authentic or not. Second is around the complexity of data and data security. Because see, when you're working with the financial data with the banks, banks are highly skeptical when sharing their data, right? So you cannot just run any kind of machine learning algorithm and go and implement at their setup. So it has to be implemented in such a way so that it maintains the data privacy, it maintains the data security, and on top of that, it is able to identify the fraudulent or authentic transactions, right? And along with that, then the other challenges that come is around the complexity of transactions that take place, right? So, for example, when a fraudulent transaction happens, it's not like one person is doing a fraudulent transaction on its own. It's generally a network of transactions. So, for example, you might have heard of shell companies, right? So, whenever a money laundering transaction takes place, there are like 4 to 5 different companies or routes that happen that are present. And in order to understand whether like how exactly fraudulent transaction takes place, there's a complete route that happens. Like a transaction goes from one account to another, then to another, which are located in different geographies. So this is difficult to identify because each of these accounts are located in different bank accounts, and that's why it is very difficult to identify like like fraudulent transaction. There's one another important issue that comes up is around the rule-based detection. So where exactly the AI plays a big role. So previously, how frauds used to get identified was banks used to have a very strict kind of rules in order to identify whether it's a fraudulent transaction. So for example, let's say there's 1 lakh amount that is credited into a particular bank account, and within 2 days, 90% of the amount got debited. Now, such kind of suspicious behavior actually triggers an alarm that it's a fraudulent transaction, right? Or let's say there's a very small quantum of transaction, small amount of transaction, let's say 10 rupees, but the high frequency of transactions suddenly started happening in a particular account. Now, these are the patterns that they use to identify whether it's a fraudulent transaction or not. But let's say we take the case of inflation. Let's say there's a country that a country is hit by inflation. Now, in that case, there's a very high chance that such kind of transaction, where an instant debit or instant credit of transaction is going to take place. So that's why a lot of false positive start happening. So what is false positive? False positive basically mean a transaction that has been flagged as fraud, but it is actually not fraud. It is because of the rule engines that are applied, and they do not cater to every instance of the transaction. So in order to understand, like in order to comprehend these kind of complex transaction, AI plays a major role. And that is where actually we have started working. So now what is the impact? Like let's say if there's a lack, like if a fraudulent transaction goes unidentified, what are the issues that happen? So generally, first of all, there's a huge amount of revenue loss that happens to the bank. And specifically the issue that I was talking about, false positive, which is the transactions that are not fraud, but have been identified as fraud because of the strict rule engine. So if I define the quantum of that, the quantum of impact, so some of the large banks like lose around 67 to 70 million dollars annually, which is like around 550 to 600 crores because of this false positive issue itself, right? Then there is a delay in the identification of process because the consumption of data that is in this varied format, that takes a lot of time to analyze. So that is where the AI plays a pretty good role. There are multiple, and like right now generative AI is one that actually plays a role in unstructured data analysis, but there are other variants of AI also which actually play a pretty good role in identifying the fraudulent transactions. For example, one of them is generative neural graph neural networks. So graph basically it's a network of graph neural networks are a particular kind of machine learning algorithm that can analyze a network of transaction. Like I just defined that whenever like transactions always happen in a network, there are multiple accounts that are interconnected, and you have to identify that how exactly the money is getting routed. Now that particular thing can be easily identified by algorithms like generative neural network, etc., which uses graph database. And on top of that, you have solutions like light GBM, which can identify the anomaly patterns in a particular transaction. So that is what we have been primarily working in, and that is what the expertise that we bring in. And like working with some of the largest banks, we have realized that a lot of company, like a lot of banks, are actually looking out for such solution which are utilizing AI. The primary reason is you might have heard of FATF, which is the Financial Action Task Force. What it does is it categorizes different countries into white, black, and gray list depending on the kind of money laundering transactions that are happening. Now, a lot of companies are getting a lot of pressure from the central authorities of their country because of the terror financing that's happening due to the fraudulent transaction and money laundering, which is where there's a huge pressure on these banks to actually implement this machine learning algorithm to so that they can actually get rid of the fraudulent transaction, identify that early, and report it to the central authority. So yeah, that is one of the major roles that actually the artificial intelligence plays. Second is around the adaptiveness of this algorithm. So previously, the algorithm used to work on a specific trained data, and they used to identify whether a transaction is fraudulent or not. But as the market keeps changing, because the market is highly volatile, sometimes, let's say right now, US elections have happened, and because of that, there's a huge shift in the price of crypto. Right now, similarly, because of these incidents that keep happening, there's a change in the market dynamics, and that actually the AI algorithm with the newer algorithm that are coming into place should be adaptive enough so that they can understand that what are the market changes that are happening, right? So these are the things that we have been able to incorporate, and this is how we actually work mainly on fraud detection. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Akash. Thank you very much. आपने इतना फास्ट बताया, पता है कितने लोगों को समझ में आया, पर आई थिंक स्पीड बहुत जबरदस्त थी आपकी। आई रियली अप्रिशिएट दैट। ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि बहुत जल्दी खत्म करना है। इट वाज नॉट लाइक दैट। है ओके, but it was really good information which you have provided. I thank you for that. So now we have last speaker of the day, CA Sweta Pathak. Very good speaker. बहुत अच्छे बातें बताती हैं. I invite Sweta for.
स्थान देवता को नमन के साथ साथ आप सभी को सादर नमस्कार। और सबसे पहले तो मैं महावर जी का धन्यवाद दूंगी कि जिन्होंने इतना अच्छा इंट्रोडक्शन मेरा दिया, और मैं सब उसके बाद धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी दीनदयाल अग्रवाल जी का, जिन्होंने मुझे यहाँ इनवाइट किया डेलिब्रेट करने के लिए एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक के ऊपर, जो है रोल ऑफ एआई इन फाइनेंस एंड अकाउंटिंग। और मैं बहुत एडमायर करना चाहूँगी जो CSR रिसर्च फाउंडेशन और फेम फाइंडर्स इनिशिएटिव्स ले रहे हैं, अच्छे अच्छे टॉपिक्स के ऊपर इंफॉर्मेटिव सेशंस रख रहे हैं, जो एक सोसाइटी में बहुत अच्छी तरीके से अवेयरनेस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। और एआई एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जिसके बारे में हम सब लोगों ने सुना है, लेकिन सब लोगों को कन्फ्यूजन्स होती हैं ये क्या है। बहुत लोग ये सोचते हैं कुछ है, बहुत टेक्निकल सा है और पता नहीं हमारे काम का है या नहीं। ये जरूर कुछ है ना, हाईली टेक्निकल लोगों की चीज है, हम लोगों के लिए तो बेकार चीज होगी, हमें ज्यादा इसके बारे में समझने की जरूरत नहीं है। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। आज के टाइम में जिस तरह से टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज हो रही है, जिस डिजिटल एरा में हम काम कर रहे हैं, तो कोई भी फील्ड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से अनछुआ नहीं है। मैं आपसे जैसे कहूं कि हम लोगों ने पिछले कुछ टाइम में टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ में काम करना सीखा है। ऑल्दो ये टर्म आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हम पिछले कुछ टाइम से यूज कर रहे हैं, बट एआई तब से आ गया इन पिक्चर जब से हम सिस्टम ड्रिवन वर्किंग करने लगे। अगर मैं बात करूं अकाउंटिंग फील्ड की, अगर हम पुराने जमाने में जिस तरह से काम करते थे, डे बुक्स बना करती थी, फिर मैनुअली लेजर्स बनते थे, फिर उसके बाद में हम लोग सारे टैली करते थे अपनी फिगर्स को, बैलेंस शीट और P&L बनाया करते थे, और उसके बाद में रिकंसिलिएशंस किया करते थे, जो एक मैनुअल टास्क हुआ करता था और बहुत टाइम और एनर्जी लेता था। नो डाउट उसके लिए स्पेशलाइज्ड पीपल हैं जो एक स्किल सेट और नॉलेज रखते हैं उसके लिए, बट डिस्पाइट दैट इट टेक्स टाइम। एक टाइम के बाद में टेक्नोलॉजी आई पिक्चर में, हम लोग टैली पर काम करने लगे। टैली पर हम जर्नल एंट्रीज बुक करते हैं, तो साथ के साथ में हमारे लेजर भी बन जाते हैं, हमारे P&L का इम्पैक्ट दिख जाता है, बैलेंस शीट दिख जाती है, और हम जैसे जैसे एंट्रीज करते जाते हैं हमारे अकॉर्डिंगली रिपोर्ट्स भी बन जाते हैं। उसके बाद आया ERP, और वहां से एक गेम चेंजर आया, इस रेवोल्यूशन हुआ, एक तरह से फाइनेंशियल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुई। तो इसके लिए मैं आपको एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन देना चाहूंगी कि हमारी इस फील्ड में क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं, और मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं जितना हो सके सिंपल रखूं, क्योंकि यहाँ पर इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स हैं अलग अलग इंडस्ट्रीज के, तो हर किसी को समझने में आसान रहे। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। 3 की बेनिफिट्स हैं, वैसे तो बेनिफिट्स एआई के बहुत ज्यादा हैं, बट 3 मेजर बेनिफिट्स हैं अकाउंटिंग एंड फाइनेंस में, जो है एनहांस एक्यूरेसी, इम्प्रूव एफिशिएंसी एंड इंक्रीज स्पीड। जब मैनुअली किसी भी प्रोसेस पे काम होता था, तो ह्यूमन जब भी काम करता है तो कई बार ह्यूमन मूड ओवरपावर कर जाता है, कई बार फटीग ओवरपावर कर जाता है, कई बार किसी की हेल्थ की सिचुएशंस होती हैं, तो उसमें एरर होने के काफी चांसेस होते हैं। बट मशीन जब काम कर रही है तो वो सारे फैक्टर्स नलिफाई हो जाते हैं, और मशीन एक डिफाइंड प्रोसेस के ऊपर काम करती है, और ह्यूमन एरर्स खत्म हो जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से एक्यूरेसी बढ़ जाती है। तो मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिदम्स जो होते हैं, उनको अगर हम प्रोसेसेस के साथ में अलाइन कर देते हैं प्रॉपर्ली, तो वो हमारी एफिशिएंसी भी बढ़ा देते हैं, क्योंकि हम जो प्रोसेसेस को बहुत लंबे टाइम में किया करते थे, अब वो बहुत शॉर्ट टाइम में हो जाते हैं। और जो हमारा टाइम बचता है, हम उसे स्ट्रैटेजिक मैनेजमेंट के ऊपर यूज कर सकते हैं, वैल्यू एडिशन पर यूज कर सकते हैं, वैल्यू क्रिएशन के बारे में सोच सकते हैं, जो कि एक बहुत ही अच्छी चीज है जो ह्यूमन कर सकता है। मशीन तो रूटीन प्रोसेसेस को कर सकती है। तीसरा है कि कोई भी काम जो हम मशीन के थ्रू कर रहे हैं वो बहुत इंक्रीज स्पीड पे होता है। अगर मैं आपको छोटा सा एग्जांपल दूं, पहले के टाइम में हम लोग एक्सेल पे काम करते थे, एक्सेल पे आज भी काम होता है, लेकिन मैक्रोस बनने शुरू हुए। मैक्रोस क्या होते हैं, जैसे आप सब लोग जानते हैं, मैक्रोस में हम कोई रिपोर्ट बना रहे हैं, हमारे जो सेट प्रोसीजर्स हैं हम उनको रिकॉर्ड कर देते हैं और विद अ क्लिक ऑफ बटन वो सारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस उस एक्सेल में एक कमांड के थ्रू ऑपरेट हो जाती हैं और वो रिपोर्ट हमारी ऑटोमेटिकली बन जाती है। ये तो कुछ टाइम पहले हुआ करता था, जो नो डाउट कुछ टाइम हमारा बचाता ही था। लेकिन आज के टाइम में जब ईआरपी सिस्टम्स, एआई टूल्स के साथ में हम काम करने लगे, विद अ क्लिक ऑफ बटन हम ये सारी चीजें कर पा रहे हैं, जो बहुत ही एक्सिलरेट कर देता है स्पीड को जिससे हम काम करते हैं। और आज के टाइम में टाइम इज मनी, एक कहावत है, तो हमको मनी को और टाइम को बहुत अच्छे से खर्च करना है। तो उसके लिए अगर हम इन एआई टूल्स को यूज करते हैं तो बहुत ही अच्छी वैल्यू क्रिएशन होती है। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। कुछ एग्जांपल्स मैं देना चाहूंगी कि आज के टाइम में किस तरह से अकाउंटिंग फील्ड में यूज किया जा रहा है एआई टूल्स को। एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल पहले मैं लेती हूँ। इनवॉइस प्रोसेसिंग पहले जो हुआ करती थी, इनवॉइस मैनुअली आया करते थे, उसमें से कोई पर्सन डिटेल्स लेता था, फिर उसके बाद में जर्नल एंट्रीज अलग हुआ करती थी, फिर उसकी मैचिंग हुआ करती थी, फिर जाके पेमेंट होती थी। आज के टाइम में इतना सिंपल हो गया है विद एआई टूल्स। हमने सिर्फ इनवॉइस को स्कैन किया, इनवॉइस से डेटा अपने आप सिस्टम आएगा, जो जर्नल एंट्रीज बुक होनी है ऑटोमेटिकली उसके अंदर बुक हो जाएंगी। उसके अलावा पीओ के साथ में और जीआरएन के साथ में इनवॉइस की मैचिंग हो जाएगी, और अगर ये 3 वे मैचिंग हो गई तो पेमेंट हो जाएगी विदाउट ह्यूमन इंटरफेस, जो बहुत टाइम बचाता है। और लेकिन इन प्रोसेसेस में ये देखना बहुत जरूरी है कि हमारे कितने रोबस्ट सिस्टम हैं, क्योंकि पेमेंट एक ऐसी चीज है जो बहुत ध्यान से होनी चाहिए। अगर गलत हो गई तो गई बिल्कुल, और फिर एक बार पैसा चला गया तो वापस आना कितना मुश्किल है आप जानते हैं। तो होता आज के टाइम में ऑल्दो ईआरपी सिस्टम्स इतने रोबस्ट तरीके से डेवलप किए गए हैं, एआई टूल्स इतने अच्छे बना दिए गए हैं कि इसमें ह्यूमन इंटरफेस की जरूरत नहीं है और ऑटोमेटिकली चीजें बन जाती हैं और पेमेंट भी हो जाती है। रिकंसिलिएशन एक रेगुलर टास्क है जो हो जाता है। एक दूसरा एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ अकाउंटिंग फील्ड का ही। फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने प्रीपेड एक्सपेंसेस की जर्नल एंट्री बुक की। अब हम लोगों ने एक प्रीपेमेंट शेड्यूल बना दिया और वो हमने अपने सिस्टम में फिट कर दिया। अब हमें हर महीने, अगर मंथली बुक्स क्लोज कर रहे हैं, हमें हर महीने याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, अरे हमें वो शेड्यूल खोलना है और अब हमें अगली जर्नल एंट्री बुक करनी है। क्या करना है, हमें बस एक बटन क्लिक करना है और वो उस अमाउंट की प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस की जो रिलीज है वो अपने आप हो जाएगी और जर्नल एंट्री बुक हो जाएगी, आपको कुछ नहीं करना। ये एक बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज है, ह्यूमन एरर का कोई चांस नहीं है और बहुत अच्छे से मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज इसको यूज कर रही हैं। उसके अलावा एक एग्जांपल और आपको देना चाहूंगी। जैसे आज के टाइम में मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज ऑपरेट कर रही हैं और मल्टीपल करेंसीज में काम होता है। एक कॉन्सेप्ट होता है होम करेंसी, एक कॉन्सेप्ट होता है रिपोर्टिंग करेंसी। तो होता क्या है कि जब मैं बुक्स कंसोलिडेट करना चाहती हूँ, उस समय में मुझे, जब मेरे पास जो डेटर्स और क्रेडिटर्स हैं, मुझको उनको एक रिपोर्टिंग करेंसी के हिसाब से एक फॉरेक्स गेन या लॉस कैलकुलेट करना है। अब उसमें ह्यूमन एरर्स के भी चांसेस होते हैं, ह्यूमन एरर्स के साथ साथ नॉलेज एरर्स के भी चांसेस हो सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर हमने प्रोसेस डिफाइन कर दिया एआई टूल्स के थ्रू, तो हमें कुछ नहीं करना, बटन क्लिक, सारे डेटर्स, हमारे सारे क्रेडिटर्स बुक होंगे, ऑटोमेटिकली जर्नल एंट्रीज हो जाएंगी, हमारा कितना फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में गेन हुआ, कितना फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में लॉस हुआ, ऑटोमेटिकली कैलकुलेट हो जाएगा और जर्नल एंट्रीज बुक्ड और ऑटोमेटिकली रिपोर्टिंग हो जाएगी। तो इस तरीके से न्यूमरस एग्जांपल्स हैं, बट लिमिटेड टाइम है, तो थोड़ा सा मैं कट शॉर्ट करूंगी क्योंकि हमारी चीफ गेस्ट मैम भी यहाँ पर आ चुकी हैं। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। हम लोग फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस और डिसीजन मेकिंग में बहुत अच्छी तरह से यूज कर रहे हैं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को। जैसा अभी आकाश जी बता रहे थे प्रिडिक्टिव एनालिसिस के बारे में, फ्रॉड डिटेक्शन के बारे में, फाइनेंशियल मॉडलिंग के बारे में, मैं बहुत डिटेल में नहीं जाना चाहूंगी क्योंकि वो इन डेप्थ उसके बारे में बता चुके हैं। बट हम चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स भी, ऑडिटर्स जो हैं, ऑडिटिंग के टाइम, आज के टाइम में फ्रॉड डिटेक्शन के बारे में के लिए टूल्स यूज कर रहे हैं जो बहुत हेल्पफुल हैं। उसके अलावा हम लोग जब मैनेजमेंट रिपोर्ट्स बनाते हैं, पहले जो मैनुअली बनती थी, आज विद क्लिक ऑफ अ बटन बन रही हैं और बहुत अच्छी और एक्यूरेट बन रही हैं। और आज के टाइम में रिपोर्टिंग का लेवल इस तरह का है कि हम रियल टाइम एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं विद क्लिक ऑफ अ बटन। हमें पीरियड क्लोज होने की या बुक्स क्लोज होने का वेट नहीं करना, रियल टाइम एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं और अकॉर्डिंगली हम डिसीजंस ले सकते हैं। फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग और रिपोर्टिंग बहुत इजी हो गई है इन टूल्स के हिसाब से, और बहुत चीजें हैं जो हम आगे कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। अब रिस्क भी आते हैं इन चीजों के साथ में। साइबर सिक्योरिटी नो डाउट बहुत बड़ा रिस्क है, बट आज के टाइम में ईआरपी सिस्टम्स जो हैं उन रिस्क को केटर कर रहे हैं। बट स्टिल जहां टेक्नोलॉजी आती है, हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं मशीन लर्निंग के थ्रू, लेकिन वो मशीन लर्निंग आई है ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस के थ्रू। अब ह्यूमंस पॉजिटिव भी सोचते हैं और नेगेटिव भी सोचते हैं, और पॉजिटिव काम करने वाले भी काम कर ही रहे होते हैं, नेगेटिव वाले थोड़ा उससे पहले पहुंच जाते हैं। तो आज के टाइम में वो रिस्क एसोसिएटेड बहुत ज्यादा है, तो गवर्नमेंट भी उसके ऊपर आज के टाइम में काम कर रही है। टेक्नोलॉजी जितनी फास्ट इस ग्रो कर रही है, उसके साथ में रिस्क भी बहुत हैं। आप लोगों ने कुछ टाइम पहले देखा होगा न्यूज में कि हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी की एक वीडियो वायरल हो रही थी जिसमें वो गाना गा रहे थे, जो कि एक्चुअल में उनकी वीडियो थी ही नहीं, वो किसी ने एक एआई टूल के थ्रू बनाई थी। तो इस तरह की कई चीजें हैं। और आप लोगों ने डिजिटल अरेस्ट के बारे में सुना है, ये सारा एआई के एक तरीके से डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं। मैं अगर आपको डिफरेंट वर्ड्स में कहूं तो एडवांटेजेस और डिसएडवांटेजेस दोनों हैं, दो धारी तलवार है। अब हमें ये डिसाइड करना है कि हमें इसको किस तरह से इस्तेमाल करना है, तो हम लोगों को उन रिस्क को ध्यान में रखते हुए करना है। और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक कंसीडरेशन आ जाती है कि एथिकल यूज किसी भी चीज का किस तरह से हो, और आज के टाइम में वो बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न है। इवन हमारी गवर्नमेंट बहुत ज्यादा इसके ऊपर फोकस्ड है। आपने देखा होगा पिछले कई सालों में जब भी बजट्स आ रहे हैं, फाइनेंस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के ऊपर, टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर गवर्नमेंट बजट्स एलोकेट कर रही है, क्योंकि वो चाहती है टेक्नोलॉजी आगे बढ़े और लोगों के एक एनेबलिंग एनवायरनमेंट हो। लेकिन जब वो एनेबलिंग एनवायरनमेंट हो रहा है तो रिस्क भी एसोसिएटेड हैं, तो उसके लिए लॉज बनने जरूरी हैं, जिसके ऊपर गवर्नमेंट अभी काम कर रही है। ऑल्दो बताने के लिए बहुत कुछ है बट टाइम कम है, लेकिन इसी आशा के साथ में इस दो धारी तलवार को हम सब लोग पॉजिटिव वे में यूटिलाइज करेंगे अपने काम को, चाहे हम किसी भी फील्ड में हैं, एक अच्छी इंटेंशन से करेंगे ताकि हम एक अच्छा समाज बना सकें, अच्छे देश के में एक अच्छे कंट्रीब्यूटर का काम करें, विकसित भारत में हम लोगों का एक पॉजिटिव योगदान हो। इसी आशा के साथ आप सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और नमस्कार।
थैंक यू श्वेता जी। जैसे कि अभी सबको पता है कि समय का अभाव है और अपनी जो चीफ गेस्ट जो बैटरी सेशन है समापन समारोह की आ चुकी हैं, तो मैं सभी से कहूँगा 10-15-20 मिनट का कार्यक्रम और रह गया है। इससे पहले कि ये हम नेक्स्ट समापन समारोह का शुरुआत करें, हमारे अभी स्पीकर हैं उनका मैं बहुत बहुत आभार करना चाहता हूँ। साथ ही एक मोमेंटो के लिए मैं इनवाइट करना चाहूँगा एनसी बंसल जी आए और अंकित कुमार जी का मोमेंटो से एक सम्मानित करें। थैंक यू अंकित जी। आइए इस बार मनीष कुंवर जी मैडम। ये श्वेता पाठक जी का थैंक यू, थैंक यू। मनीषा खबरी से कहूंगा कि वो श्वेता पाठक जी का सम्मान। इसके बाद अमित अग्रवाल जी और अनुराग गुप्ता जी। थैंक यू, थैंक यू। और अनुराग गुप्ता जी से अनुरोध करता हूं कि वो आकाश चंद्रा जी का एक स्मृति चिन्ह देकर सम्मान करें। और सभी स्पीकर ने बहुत अच्छा बोला है, एक बार जोरदार तालियां प्लीज। थैंक यू। अमित जी, अमित अग्रवाल जी का भी स्वागत करेंगे कि और सभी लोग उमेश अग्रवाल जी। थैंक यू, थैंक यू। ग्रुप फोटो के लिए सभी आ गए हैं। अब मैं रीना मेहरा जी, बंसल जी, मनोज जोशी जी सभी से आग्रह करूंगा मंच पे आए और ये समापन समारोह की हम पढ़ रहे हैं। और आज की चीफ गेस्ट एच ऑनरेबल डॉक्टर जनीश दरबारी जी, उनको एक्सकोर्ट करें। मनोज जी, एनसी बंसल जी, रीना मेहरा जी। और मैं आप लोगों ने सुबह से बहुत से लोग सुबह से भी डटे हुए हैं, मैं उनका भी बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। और साथ ही सभी से मैं कहूँगा एक जोरदार ताली आप अपने लिए बजाएं, क्योंकि जिससे एनर्जी आए अपनी। थैंक यू। क्योंकि लंच मैंने देखा कि जब भी हम प्रोग्राम करते हैं शुरू में संख्या 25-30 ही होती है, शुरुआत जो होती है, फिर धीरे धीरे 12 बजे तक 100 हो जाती है, लंच में 250 हो जाती है, और लास्ट में बस कुछ नहीं कह सकते, 25, 30, 20 जितनी भी रह जाए। लेकिन कोई बात नहीं है, हमारे यहाँ हम अच्छी क्वालिटी के लोग रुके हुए हैं अभी भी, मैं उनका बहुत बहुत आभार करता हूँ। भाई साहब, बंसल जी, आओ भाई, आप बता दें। और आगे के लिए रीना जी आप संभालेंगे, अवार्ड किसको देना मुझे नहीं पता। मानवेंद्र जी आप भी मंच पे आए एक बार प्लीज। अब आप मंच संभालें, मुझे थोड़ा मुक्ति दें, और लास्ट में 2 मिनट का अगर कहेंगे तो मैं बोल दूंगा।
जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जिस प्रकार से आज सबसे पहले अपने चीफ गेस्ट का हम स्वागत करने के लिए बुला रहे हैं, और मैम ने अपना समय निकाला है हमारे इस खास कार्यक्रम के लिए। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। और हम बंसल सर और अग्रवाल सर से आग्रह करेंगे, डीन अग्रवाल सर की मैम का स्वागत करें बुके से। और हम यही कहेंगे, मैम को हम बताना भी चाहेंगे कि हम सुबह से हम लोग ये एआई पर ये खास कार्यक्रम हुआ जिसमें 4 सेशन थे, और लगातार यहाँ पर सुबह में जो अभी हमारा सेशन शुरू हुआ था उसमें खास तौर पर हमारे चीफ गेस्ट थे गोपाल कृष्ण अग्रवाल जी, नेशनल स्पोक्स पर्सन भारतीय जनता पार्टी फॉर इकोनॉमी अफेयर्स। उन्होंने ढेर सारे अपने की नोट्स दिए और इसी पर हम लोग ने पूरे सेशन को किया है। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए मैम का। जी हाँ दोस्तों, और ये हमारा सेशन लगातार एआई पर इसलिए किया गया क्योंकि आप भी एआई की ओर आप बढ़ेंगे, कहीं न कहीं आप इसका उपयोग करेंगे और बेहतर रूप से आप इसका इस्तेमाल करें। इसीलिए फेम फाइंडर और सीएसआर रिसर्च फाउंडेशन ने खास तौर पर आयोजन किया है। और अगर आप कोई समस्या है, ब्रांडिंग करना चाहते हैं तो फेम फाइंडर से मिलिए। अगर आप चाहते हैं सीएसआर फंड तो फिर आप सीएसआर
रिसर्च फाउंडेशन से मिलिए और दोनों से आप आगे बढ़िए और बेहतर काम करिए। और हम सीधे मैम से आग्रह करेंगे कि मैम आएँ और अपने 2 शब्द कहें मैम, प्लीज़। Yes, there's a lot of things, but सीधे बहुत सारे नाम हैं। ये तो हम लिख के दे रहे हैं।
हाँ, लिख के दे दीजिए। मिस्टर बंसल है ना यहाँ पे? मनीष। Well, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Janice Darbari, the Honorary Consul General of Montenegro in India. I hope you know where Montenegro is. And if you don't, then of course I will enlighten you. It's a very beautiful nation, former Yugoslavia, if that rings a bell about the non-aligned movement. I come from a very, very beautiful country which I represent. It's known as the Pearl of the Mediterranean. And it's got black mountains, that's why the name is Montenegro. In the night, it used to look beautiful, and the mountains were so dense that when you saw it, it just looks like a black cover amidst the beautiful sea. So one gets lost in its beauty. And as beautiful as the place is, it has a small population. And for accountants, it is actually a numbers game. It's hardly 700,000 people, but all of them have made that destiny of Montenegro, which through a referendum separated from Serbia in 2006, one of the most favored today destinations in the world. We're ranking now 5. So you can imagine in these, since 2008, I have been the head of mission of the country in India. I visited a number of states. I have talked about Montenegro. I have organized Indo-Montenegro poster painting competition with the hundreds of schools. And now we're going to venture into a film, which I was mentioning to you. This is going to be about India's Azadi, about Balia. And my grandfather was an ICS officer of a 1923 batch. And when he, after 17 years, gave freedom to Balia, it shook the corridors of power. That's the power of the mind. And why I'm talking about him is because now we have Reena Mehra here, we have Mr. N.C. Bansal, we have Mr. Deshpal Agarwal, Mr. Ved Prakash, Mahawas, okay, and Mr. Joshi. I'm quite sure with this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which has been celebrated now all over India and all over the world, history of India is changing. It's changing. And when I say it's changing, the Azadi Ka Amrit Ka jo portal hai Cultural Ministry, it is giving you an insight of all the new freedom fighters. And also, now, with my book being on the portal, it's about the transfer of power. One day I was sitting in the SHO's office of my Greater Kailash, and when I went there to talk about something quite different, he said, "Ma'am, आप तो भारत के बारे में जानती हैं?" मैंने कहा, "हाँ, मैं जानती हूँ." तो मैंने उनसे कहा, "आपको पता है 19 अगस्त 1942 में भारत को आज़ादी मिला?" तो वो थोड़े से अचानक से मेरी तरफ देखने लगे कि एक राजदूत क्या बोल रही हैं। तो मैंने उनसे कहा फिर वो उन्होंने सोचा शायद गलती हो गई उनसे। नहीं, in 1947 we got independence, और ऐसे कहते हुए वो थोड़े से झुक गए। जब वो झुक गए तो मैंने, और फिर वो मेरी तरफ देख रही थी कि शायद थोड़ा सा चेंज हो जाए ये मैडम। तो मैंने कहा, "No, 19th August 1942. That's when it struck him. Yes, the transfer of power to India by a British officer who was the pleader of the crown
who had constitutional powers of criminal and judicial in his hand, he actually, when the shoot at sight orders there, he file, deposit the guns. When there was emergency promulgated on 9th of August 1942 in Mumbai, and all the leaders were jailed, he gave an unconditional release of the political prisoners. So within 10 days, again, accounting the number of days, he changed, he was the game changer. And when he became the game changer, the Britishers said, this officer has become Baghi. And so it was known as Baghi Balia. And now when you Google or even ask AI, it's updated its knowledge, and AI says the transfer of power took place in Balia in 1942. What is a compliment to all of you sitting here that, like you all, he was a mathematician and a great one. When he was a topper at the university and he sat for the exam of the ICS, you see, they used to only choose 4 people from the whole of India. And you all know the ICS was established way back in 1858. And the Britishers only gave 4 places. So how tough the competition was. But being this mathematical genius, when the paper came to him, they set a paper where the arithmetics was all wrong. So he realized this was a game within a game within a game. And out of the jumble mumble of the jungle of the financial world, when he wrote the answer, they said, oh, this guy is a genius. And when they said he was a genius, and when he does this in Balia, you know what they said? They said he's counting our number of days out. He's actually saying, quit India, and this is the time now. Because the transfer of power, which he effected, was telling them that transfer of power to the people of India, which we've done in Balia, it's constitutional, it's legally right. And besides that, what is so beautiful is that when he, arithmetics plays a very, very important role. He realized if not more than 4 people are going to be able to gather under Section 144, he masterminded 40,000 people to enter Balia. It has hardly a population of 15, and he knew when 40,000 people would enter, what would the change be? They knew that under the nose of the Britishers, he managed it. And being this type of a person in mathematics, he was able to conquer in a big way the period of time. I liked your, where's she gone? There. She was talking about time being the game changer, artificial intelligence being the game changer. But at that time, there was no mathematics. Only mathematics was depending on yourself. But that's one thing you mustn't lose. Communication and computerization and AI is a supplement, it's like a vitamin, but it should not become toxic. There was a very nice Israel author who has written about this, and he says, at one time, we listened to our conscience, but at this time, if we listen to the AI, then maybe our conscience may go to sleep. Be careful. Then, one thing which came to my mind is that when the Vedas were written, now, just next to a person I was sitting down here, Acharya, I asked him, why Acharya? So he was talking about how the DNA matched and you became involved in finding out who you were. And you said the word Acharya fit. Now, these are the words of heaven. So AI cannot become your master there. There is a fine line. Like the Vedas, people say it was the voice of God. So let AI not become your voice of God. You see, this is what you call distinction of the mathematical geniuses. Whether it is your AI, your computer, the way you're going to use it, you may have to apply a human approach to certain things. As a chief guest, it's my role to bring to gather whatever I see in the whole of Bharat, whatever I see in the whole of the world, to be able to assimilate it and to deliver with you jointly, perhaps on another global forum, something very different. Because once I hear all of you, from inside my master computer starts developing a new way of intelligently bringing it to the World Forum. So I really thank you, Mr. Joshi, for having invited me here. Though today I was supposed to be the guest of the Cultural Ministry at the Goa Film Festival. Mr. Joshi, I chose this to come, and they're all wondering why Madam has not come to our cultural festival, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. I said I'll join you after the 23rd or 24th, because I think it's very important to have this human interaction, which is more important than just perhaps sitting and seeing a film. Because this film, which I'm seeing here, is the film of the minds meeting together, people actually talking. You know, this is this interaction, which they say becomes something, जो समुद्र का मंथन, जैसे आप कह रही थी, आपके पहले कोई speakers थे, I think you were also speaking. So it becomes something very joyful. I take back the human approach. I take back the human mind, which I will miss if I have to sit and see a film, or if I have to just stare at my computer and think. I must know who are the people. In fact, all of you together, if you pool your minds together, I think you can become the bank for AI. Man can only become a bank. And yet there will be a super master bank who can hold you. If you look at the life of Elon Musk, he was also a born mathematician. That was his lifespan, mathematics. I was reading in some space of time, he's mentioned that now, within half an hour, he'll have a spaceship of 1,000 people traveling from America to India in just half an hour. So what would he have calculated? He would have calculated space and time. And that's how he is talking of the future. But if you read our comic books, we're already there. When I was growing up, and the comic books already had it. So where is India left? India's now, if you all geniuses here who've got this mathematical brain can even beat Elon Musk, you can beat him in his thinking, in his planning, because money is not everything. It is the mind you have which is everything. आपने अगर सोचा है तो आप करेंगे and आप भारत को उस वहां तक पहुंचा सकते हैं. You know, this is the geniuses we have in India, and I have seen it number of times. Children who come to me, they didn't know anything about Montenegro, and they didn't need any artificial intelligence, but they depended upon their emotions. Now, this emotional intelligence you have is perhaps very superior to many things in life. So, and on the pathway, as you're developing your financial brains and through this artificial intelligence and through the CSR Research Foundation, match it with the playful nature of mankind. Because when you play around with things, when I saw the paintings, how children played around with emotions, किसी ने स्कूटर पे, इंडिया का स्कूटर पे आइसक्रीम कोन बना करके showed it as the mountains of Montenegro and said India Montenegro tourism. क्या कुदरत का उनका नजारा था. It was, I mean, all the film stars who were judges and IAS officers and judges, they turned around and said, what type of imagination these children have. So maybe with AI, you can develop something which will become India's AI. You know, it's your USP. It's your era of artificial intelligence with fame finders together. That's what you're looking for. You're looking to become famous, dynamic dynamites. जिसे कहते हैं कि जब लोग देखेंगे आपको बोलेंगे आप लोग ने सब मिलकर के इस चीज का आविष्कार किया है, तो आपको जो डायरेक्शन शायद आज मिल जाए वो ऐसा डायरेक्शन होगा जिसमें समुद्र का मंथन निकल करके बहुत ही बढ़िया होगा. So I hope you take back that energy which has gone into creating this function. Every function needs a time period. and every function needs an energy. Because without that energy, aap kahin nahi hai. That is the truth of life. The truth of life is what you create as an illusion is a reflection not of the inner self, but when that illusion breaks, you find your inner self. And that is how the Gita says, Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art. India must never forget this. Because if you forget this, no matter what profession you're in, you will not be able to find what you're really looking for. So as the financial wizards of India, and I say it with great hope, because when the software for the income tax department was even created, a couple of my friends were the feeders. और जब वो feed करते हैं ना, उनमें एक जुस्तजू होता है कि how do we catch the crook? How do we catch? And they play the cops. And when they play the cops, they come out with something which they hope they're able to envisage कि हर भारतीय का दिमाग कैसे चलता है. तो जब वो सॉफ्टवेयर भी है कि जैसे I think one of your speakers was saying कि the plus sign and the positive sign to the crooks and to the honest, we have to be fair. Will this artificial intelligence be fair? We have to see that. Like he said, he was talking about banking, that young guy, and when he was speed talking, I realized he was actually trying to say we are in between that speed. And if we do not apply our mind, everything may be a click away, but that application of mind, do not let it fall. If that falls, then you will let yourself down. Forget about the other person. It is first beginning with yourself, the person who sits behind the computer, who stands to gain through artificial intelligence, has to come above everything. And if you come above everything, you've made it. In fact, I would love to say this wonderful bank of people जिन्होंने आपने एकत्रित किया है, उन सबके दिमाग में जाइए और इन सब से बोलिए कि come on, now let us match and give AI in such a way कि लोग बोलेंगे कि ये इंडिया का अर्थशास्त्र I hope my Hindi is correct है और ये हमारा USP है. तो फिर हम भी शान से कह सकते हैं कि हम गए थे उस फंक्शन में और लोगों की उत्साह देख करके, लोगों की प्रेरणा जो मेरी अंदर में आई, उनकी आंखों की तस्वीर देख करके कि किस तरह से वो अपने आप में एक समुद्र है और वो किस तरह से अपने आप को फील कर रहे हैं, टच कर रहे हैं और बाहर निकल करके सेमिनार में आते हैं. यू टेक आउट योर टाइम, यू कम टुगेदर. इट्स सच अ बिग थिंग. I hope this artificial intelligence doesn't make you far apart. ये आपको जोड़ना चाहिए, आपका एक सॉफ्टवेयर निकलना चाहिए, आपका फाउंडेशन का नाम होना चाहिए. People should say, wow, and market it. Market that software. Give it to the common man. You will make more money than sitting and doing his accounts. You know, people are thirsty and every startup wants something. You become the person to market these discs. Take a CEO from your fame finders have come out with something like this. Market it. It's your startup position. आपके पास जो हथियार है ना, उस हथियार को अगर आप समझेंगे ना, इस चीज का जो एक एक पल है कीमती है. It is a precious moment of your life. Don't lose it. This is a very, very precious moment. And I would only say one thing, that when I walked in and I met my friend now sitting, he said I had to go into my DNA. तो मुझे सुन के बहुत खुशी हुई, क्योंकि यही चीजें मैं सुनकर के समझती हूँ कि भारत का इतिहास फिर से लिखा जाएगा और इस बार सचमुच में स्वर्ण अक्षरों में लिखा जाएगा, क्योंकि हमारे जो लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं ये अपने कीमती वक्त ही नहीं, अपने संपूर्ण शक्तियों के साथ आए हैं. आपने इतने सारे सेमिनार्स रखे हैं सवेरे से. आई एम क्वाइट श्योर बाय नाउ आपने सबके मन को पढ़ लिया होगा, और उस पढ़ने के बाद आपका जो फीलिंग है ना, I'm actually can see the sparkle in your eyes. जिस तरफ मैं देख रही हूँ, चाहे चश्मा के पीछे आप छुपाने की कोशिश भी करेंगे, मुझे वो चमकते हुए आंखें नजर आ रही हैं, और इसलिए नजर आ रही हैं क्योंकि मैं ढूंढ रही हूँ। अगर हम ढूंढेंगे नहीं तो मिलेगा नहीं। इसी तरह जब मेरे नाना ने ढूंढा, उन्होंने प्रश्न का हल निकाल दिया और कहा, when I transferred the power to the people of India, this is what is going to bring the two nations together. And the Prime Minister, at least, singing far away in London, turned around and said, Mr. Nigam, everybody wants to dismiss you because of what you've done. And the Commander-in-Chief of the Army is saying, who is this Mr. Nigam? मतलब आप लोग सब भी विद्रोह फेस करेंगे. Who is this person? I should have shot him. I should have killed him. I should have not let him to rise, because he had to recapture Ballia, cordon it off from the rest of India for 3 months. आप भी उसी कटघरे में हैं. जब आप कुछ करेंगे, you will have that opposition. He had it, but हिम्मत नहीं हारे. The troops were sent to recapture Ballia. They ordered his suspension. He said, but you cannot hang innocent people. They managed to kill 80 people. Can you imagine, from the 40,000, only 80 they managed to. The rest he had made them run away. Told them, go underground. Management. That's called Divya Drishti. That's called inner soul. That's called, in what you would say, timing. Timing has to be perfect. If it's perfect, you are a success. And that's how he was a success. So I want you all to be successful, because it took 2.5 years to dismiss one ICS officer. And you can imagine the rest of the ICS turned around and said, all the administrators. So what was the actual Diwal? Gandhi ji ko to aapne jail mein dal diya. Aruna Asif Ali छिप गए नीचे अंडरग्राउंड. नेहरू भी जेल में चले गए. सुभाष चंद्र बोस को मार दिया. नेवी का म्यूटनी को खत्म कर दिया. लेकिन इस आईसीएस ऑफिसर को नहीं खत्म कर पाए. क्यों नहीं खत्म कर पाए? क्योंकि the administrators with the police and the administrators together they were that wall जो ब्रिटिशर्स ने बनाया था. और वो आपका अगर गिर जाएगा तो स्वतंत्र भारत was. So we are turning this whole thing into a movie. It's all a game of calculations. And we're going to bring out the calculations. And maybe I need all the support out here of all your $1 million minds of how we can create that intensity of time management and calculations of how many days were numbered of the British. What a story. And it's all documented in the Home Ministry files of 1942. It's called the British Era Home Ministry Files. And I got that file out because my mother directed me. She was the daughter of the collector. She said, sure, done. My time is over now. But this message of time, no, it's fine, it's fine. I am 100% with you. There can be no distinction in time. Don't worry, I'll talk to them. But, you know, usually they give courtesy to the ambassadors of countries. They give us time, even in Meridian Hotel. So maybe you're lucky. So now, my dear friends, time management is one thing, artificial intelligence is one thing, and the spiritual self is one thing. With these words, I wish you all a very, very big success. Thank you all.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम. जिस प्रकार से आपने कहा है कि CSR और फेम फाइंडर भी इस पर काम करेगा और भारत में नाम करेगा, AI में बेहतरीन रूप से करेगा. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मैम, आपने समय निकाला और हम चाहेंगे, हमारे पास कुछ इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स हैं, हम उन्हें सम्मान करना चाहते हैं, तो मुख्य अतिथि से आग्रह है कि आगे आके उन्हें सम्मान करें। जिसमें पहला नाम है अग्रिमा बेदी का। जी, मैम से आग्रह है कि आप आएँ तेज़ी से और अपने अवार्ड ग्रहण करें। जी, और नेक्स्ट हैं मोहित राणा। और उसके बाद हैं, ये सारे इंडस्ट्री लीडर हैं जिन्होंने अपने इंडस्ट्री में बेहतरीन काम किया है। मिथेश सिंह, आपसे भी आग्रह है मिथेश सिंह जी कि आप भी आ जाएँ अपने लाइन में। और इंडस्ट्री में ही उन्होंने बेहतरीन काम किया है, शालिनी भारद्वाज। जी हाँ मैम, ये अग्रिमा बेदी मैम है जो इन्होंने इंडस्ट्री में बेहतरीन काम किया और फेम फाइंडर उन्हें सम्मान करते हुए बड़े गर्व महसूस कर रहा है। मोहित राणा जी से आग्रह है कि आप अपने अवार्ड ग्रहण करें। जी हाँ, आपने भी इंडस्ट्री में काम बेहतरीन रूपीय किया है और आज आपको सम्मान देते हुए काफ़ी गर्व महसूस कर रहा है। मिथेश सिंह जी से आग्रह है कि आप आएँ, अपने अवार्ड ग्रहण करें प्लीज़। अच्छा, जी हाँ दोस्तों, शालिनी भारद्वाज और सलीम जावेद जी से आग्रह है कि आप आएँ और अवार्ड ग्रहण करें। लिंगैया ललिता देवी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट, बेस्ट जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन कॉलेज इन इंडिया। हमारे पास 2 यूनिवर्सिटी का रिकॉग्नाइज़ किया है, खास तौर पर हम फेम फाइंडर और सीएसआर ने। सलीम जावेद जो ग्रहण कर रहे हैं लिंगैया ललिता देवी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट, बेस्ट जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन कॉलेज इन इंडिया। जी हाँ दोस्तों, आप जोरदार तालियों से इनका स्वागत करें। और विक्रांत गुप्ता जी से आग्रह है कि आप आएँ और लिंगैया विद्यापीठ, बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी फॉर रिसर्च इन इंडिया का अवार्ड ग्रहण करें प्लीज़। विक्रांत गुप्ता। जी हाँ दोस्तों, आप जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करें, ये हमारे अवार्डी हैं और आप जितनी जोरदार तालियों से इनका स्वागत करेंगे, अगले साल पुनः ये आपके कार्यक्रम में बेहतरीन कार्य करते हुए आगे बढ़ेंगे। आप सबों को अवार्ड देते हुए सीएसआर फाउंडेशन और फेम फाइंडर गौरवान्वित महसूस कर रहा है। आप निश्चित तौर पर बेहतरीन काम करें। और बोर्ड ऑफ टाइम्स के लिए हम बुला रहे हैं अग्रवाल सर को, डीडी अग्रवाल सर खास तौर पर अभी लव ऑफ टोकन के लिए अनाउंसमेंट करेंगे और इसके बाद बोर्ड ऑफ थैंक्स भी करेंगे।
अंत में कार्यक्रम समाप्ति की ओर है और नाश्ता भी तैयार है, वैसे आपका हाई टी अभी स्टार्ट होने वाली है। तो मैं आप सभी का बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, फेम फाइंडर और सीएसआर रिसर्च फाउंडेशन की तरफ से आप सभी का बहुत बहुत आभार। और हमारी चीफ गेस्ट मैडम का भी मैं बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ कि नो डाउट दिल्ली में आजकल पोल्यूशन फैला हुआ है, जैसे मैं भी कहा था, और समय का सबको अभाव होता है, तो आप आए, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आभार, साधुवाद। और हम आशा करते हैं भविष्य में कभी हमें आपकी जरूरत पड़ेगी तो हमारे लिए आप तत्पर रहेंगे, हमेशा उपलब्ध रहेंगे। इन्हीं शब्दों से मैं आपका भी बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। और किसका किसी रह गया? अरे हाँ, मैम का अब देखो, हमने तो बातों से सब कर ही ली, अब सम्मान भी करेंगे मैडम का। मैडम रीना जी सम्मान करेंगे। और हमारे बंसल जी, एनसी बंसल जी भाई साहब, जब से मैं सीएसआर रिसर्च फाउंडेशन स्टार्ट की है तब से हमेशा हमें सहयोग करते हैं, तन से भी, मन से भी और धन से भी करते रहते हैं। तो मैं उनका भी बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ कि इन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम को और अब आकर पूरे दिन रहे। मेरे ख्याल से जिंदगी में मैंने इतने प्रोग्राम करे होंगे, पहली बार देख रहा हूँ सुबह से शाम तक यहाँ रखे हुए हैं। तो एक बार जोरदार तालियों से इनका भी आप स्वागत करें प्लीज। हाँ, तो इन्होंने क्या किया है कि आधा मार दिया, तो मेरा इसका जो प्रॉपर्टी में भी मेरा आदर्श रहेगा क्या? चलिए, एनीवे थैंक यू। और मनोज जोशी जिन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम के लिए, अभी कह रहा था मुझे भाई, मनोज भाई कि यार मैं सोया नहीं 15 दिन से, इतना स्ट्रेस हूँ। अब मुझे लगता है कि कार्यक्रम खत्म हो गया है, आप अपना स्ट्रेस दूर करें, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। अब नई जर्नी हम स्टार्ट करेंगे, आगे से अच्छा रहेगा। और क्या होता है, कभी कभी कार्यक्रम जब करते हैं बहुत सारे लोगों को मैनेज करना, हम 100 स्पीकर वर्किंग करते हैं, तब कहीं जाके 25 स्पीकर निकलते हैं। 25 में भी क्या है, मैं सुबह आऊंगा, शाम को आऊंगा, दोपहर में आऊंगा, तो टाइम मैनेजमेंट भी देना, मतलब इतना काम होता है। मतलब मैं जानता हूँ कि मनोज भाई का क्या दुर्दशा रही होगी, हाँ, लेकिन फिर भी जब कार्यक्रम सफल हो जाता है तो हमें आत्मीय संतुष्टि मिलती है, हमें भी मिलती है। और जो हमारी ऑडियंस है, अगर स्पीकर अच्छे हैं तो एक बार जोरदार तालियों से उनका अभिनंदन कर दें। साथ ही रीना मेहरा जी हैं, जो मैंने कहा नहीं, हर कार्यक्रम की सफलता में किसी एक लेडीज का हाथ होता है, महिला का हाथ होता है। नो डाउट इस कार्यक्रम की जो सफलता है उसमें नीना जी आपका बहुत बहुत आभार है। आपने बहुत मेहनत करी है और इतना लोगों को कोऑर्डिनेट किया है, सभी को फोन उन्होंने किया है, मैंने 20-25 नंबर दिए, सभी उन्होंने फोन किया, तो मैं रीना मेहरा जी का ही आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। साथ में जो ऑडियंस है, किसी भी कार्यक्रम की सफलता अगर देखें स्पीकर पे डिपेंड नहीं करती बॉस, सारी ऑडियंस पे डिपेंड करती है। तो एक जोरदार ताली आप अपने लिए बजाएं। और साथ में मैंने ऐसे भी देखा है, अगर संख्या 2 रह जाए और स्पीकर 5 हो तो स्थिति क्या होगी आप जान सकते हैं। तो स्पीकर भी नहीं बोल पाता वो बेचारा ऐसे चला जाता है। तो आप लोगों ने बहुत सुबह से शाम तक हमें झेला भी, हमें सपोर्ट भी किया, सहयोग भी किया, और अपना आशीष बच्चन भी कहीं ना कहीं शांति रह के या कैसे भी क्वेश्चन करके दिया है। हम सभी आपका आभार करते हैं। एक लास्ट में हम चाहते हैं ग्रुप फोटो हो जाए सबके साथ। कोई लंच में सबसे ज्यादा लोग थे, उसका रिकॉर्ड मेरे पास है और लास्ट का भी रिकॉर्ड अपने पास आ जाएगा। तो दोनों रिकॉर्ड हम मैच करेंगे और आगे ध्यान रखेंगे कौन हमारे साथ लॉन्ग टर्म चल सकता है। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ पुनः एक बार सभी आपका आभार। हमारे स्पॉन्सर, सारे स्पॉन्सर हैं, एक आर.के. ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन बंसल साहब का है, बूट्स का भी मैं बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, आदि सनक भारत जो है इनका भी है, संपूर्ण ईवी वाले हैं शायद मेरे ख्याल से, और वीर तीरंदर जी यूनिवर्सिटी कंस्ट्यूमार बिज, आदित्य बिरला, ICI सभी का बहुत बहुत आभार। और सभी ये ग्रुप फोटो इधर आएंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा। और मैं जो अवार्डीज हैं मैं उनसे निवेदन करूंगा ऊपर आ जाएं, आप ऊपर आ जाइए तो कहीं ना कहीं, ठीक है, कुछ इधर आ जाइए, कुछ इधर आइए अवार्डीज। और ललित जी आप भी आए ना, आइए, सब सभी आए, आइए, थैंक यू। अरे राइए, मैडम आ रहा है, आप आराम किरण मत जाना भैया। अंत में मैं 1-2 परिचय दूंगा, वो क्या नाम भैया, इन्होंने पूरा हमारा डिजाइनिंग वगैरह सबका काम किया, इनका बहुत बहुत आभार। एक जोरदार ताली इस भाई के लिए। कोई सारी डिजाइनिंग जो है, जो आप देख रहे हैं ब्रांडिंग, आइए आकाश जी, और हमारी ये टीम है जो पूरा हॉल मैनेजमेंट देखती है, पूरा हमारे अमित जी हैं, सॉरी अंकित जी, वो अभी है नहीं है, उनकी सब टीम है, उनको भी बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। और एक मैडम जो सुबह से लगी हुई है, क्या नाम है आपका, वो जो सुबह गुंजा का भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, मंच पे आए हैं, और क्योंकि सुबह से सब लोग एक दूसरे सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच।